My name is Daniel Williams. I go to the University of Puget Sound, and I want to work in the baseball industry.
Zach Buston, Dominican University, and I want to be a garment manufacturer.
The name's Vela, Sam Vela. I'm a junior at Dominican University of California. When I graduate, I plan on trying out for professional soccer teams in Europe.
My name is Graham Hooper. I go to the San Francisco Flex Academy, and I want to be a baseball broadcaster.
Janet McCarroll. I go to Dominican University, and I am interested in pursuing media arts.
My name is Spencer Clark. I go to the University of Arizona, and I want to be a composer.
Nadia Green, Dominican University of California, and I'd like to go into PR and marketing.
Hi, my name is Rennie Shapiro. I go to Tam High School, and I'd love to be an ESPN anchor when I'm older.
And welcome into beautiful downtown San Rafael for tonight's game, the second game of this 6-game series between the San Rafael Pacifics and the Hawaii Stars. Good evening and thank you for tuning in. Here on Marin TV, I am Vinny Longo. I'll be joined by a few people throughout the broadcast, especially Kramer Herzog. He'll be patrolling the sidelines tonight and getting us a lot of interviews with a few MVPs that are here tonight. Tonight's matchup features, as I said, the Pacifics and the Stars. The Pacifics come into this game with a 16-6 record. That's good for first place in the Pacific Association of Professional Baseball Clubs. Hawaii sitting at third place, 5.5 games back, comes in with a record of 12-13. Now, don't let that confuse you. Hawaii has been on an absolute hot streak lately. Before last night's game, they'd had a 7-game winning streak and won 9 of their last 10. But last night, the Pacifics, coming off of a 3-3 series split with the Vallejo Admirals in Vallejo, came away with a 7-1 victory. Highlighted a few stories around, but Tyler Pearson, the #1 story, coming in 7 strong innings pitched, just a couple of hits, 1 run, and 10 strikeouts. His second straight performance with 10 strikeouts as the Pacifics remained unbeaten at home. Well, that's a beautiful night for baseball here. It's temperatures around the mid-70s, and it's been just a gorgeous day with winds picking up as the game time has started to get closer and closer. It looks like it's going about 15 miles an hour straight out into left center field. Tonight's starting matchup between the pitchers will feature Matt Tripoli for the Hawaii Stars. Tripoli 2-1 on the year with a 5.47 ERA, but in his last game against the East Bay Lumberjacks, he was absolutely dynamite. 7 innings pitched. He got the win with 2 hits, no earned runs, and 7 strikeouts, so an absolutely dominant performance for him. On the Pacific side of the mound will be Logan Odom taking control, the big, tall, right-handed side armor. In his last appearance, Odom went 6 innings and a third, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits and 8 strikeouts, and was not credited with anything, as that was the famous sprinkler game where the game went into extra innings and was decided in the bottom of the 12th when Justin James hit a single to left field that went right into the sprinklers that had come on as the game had gone past the timer. We're just a few minutes away from first pitch here. It should be an exciting matchup today. Hawaii, as I said, was on that hot streak, and they're out for blood, trying to even up this series. The Pacifics, on the other hand, it was a big win for them last night. I was able to sit down with Mike Shapiro during the game and ask him a couple questions. Shapiro is the president, general manager, and minority owner of the Pacifics, and he said it was absolutely crucial for them to get that win last night. It's just an absolute momentum thing for them. And the Pacifics are taking the field now, lining up defensively for them from left to right on the infield. Kyle Donani will be at third base. Danny Gonzalez, the smooth-handed player out of New Mexico, is at shortstop. Bryce Kendall at second base, and Johnny Woodard, the starter for the last 2 years at first for the Pacifics, will be at first. And the outfield from left to right, Derek Hale getting the start in the field tonight, usually playing the designated hitter. Chase Fontaine replacing the injured Zach Pace in center field. More on Pace later. And then reigning NABL MVP Michael Hova will be getting the start in right field tonight. Hova has been slumping at the plate as of late, but last night Hova hit an absolute bomb over the left-handed or the left field wall. The Speed Pro imaging right down the line wasn't high enough to stop it, as it was just a line shot, went into the trees back there. As I said, on the mound will be Logan Odom, and then behind the plate, it's Kevin Reinking. Now, Reinking is a new addition to the Pacifics after Matt Cavanaugh, their usual starter, was hurt, and Matt Quintero saw a few starting games over in Vallejo, and then Reinking was brought in yesterday, and he did an absolute dynamite job behind the plate. In his first at-bat as a Pacific, ranking singled home 2 runs, and he called a fantastic game for Tyler Pearson. They're 2 veterans who had never seen each other before, and you never would have known it from the way they were just in sync the entire game. And while we have this moment, let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Hawaii Stars. Batting first and playing second base will be Dustin Smith, the son of former Cardinals great Ozzie Smith. Batting second and playing center field, Mitch Levier. Now Levier is taking the place of Matt Hibbert, who's usually the leadoff hitter and plays center for the Stars. Hibbert is injured though today. He is okay, but last night, towards the end of the game, he ran hard into the center field wall off a ball hit by Chase Fontaine, and it bruised his ribs, so they're giving him a night off. Batting third and playing left field, Katsuaki Furuki, the very dangerous left fielder who until yesterday was leading the Pacific Association in batting average. Batting fourth and playing first base, Marshall, excuse me. Batting fifth in the designated hitter slot, Brandon Davis. Batting sixth and behind the plate will be Tyler Kropetsky. Batting seventh and playing right field, Anthony Williams. Batting eighth and playing third base, Caleb Hatcher, who was just added yesterday. And batting ninth at shortstop will be Felix Brown. We are ready for first pitch here. Dustin Smith leading off. Smith last night went 1 for 4 with a single. The first hit that was given up off of Pearson, he did reach third base in the first inning. Odom's first pitch, a strike. Always a good way to start off a game with a first pitch strike. That was a fastball. So he goes ahead of Smith 0-1. As he falls behind there, Odom definitely the strikeout type pitcher. He's second in the Pacific Association with 31 strikeouts on the year. And he's behind Tyler Pearson, his teammate, who added 10 to his total last night. Smith nubs this one foul. Now, something we always see during the night games here at Albert Park, the shadows are starting to creep towards the field right now. As you can see, Logan Odom is entirely in sunlight while Dustin Smith is entirely in shadow. As Smith grounds this one off of Odom's leg, Woodard is charging. There's going to be nobody covering the bag. So Smith is going to start off the game pretty much the opposite way yesterday's game did, with a leadoff infield single. And the Stars has some offense in the top of the first inning. And for Odom, that's just a tough break. The trainer is not going out to visit him, so it does look like he's okay. That ball went right off of his shin, though, and looked like it could have been painful. Smith got that one off the end of the bat and just took the pitch right back up the middle, and usually that ends up going for a hit, and it did work out for him that time. As Mitch Levier now standing up to the plate. Smith faked going there, but ended up staying at first. Odom pours in a strike. Levier on the year, a .333 batting average. Very solid hitter, usually hits in the 2-hole or the 3-hole. Odom's going to check Smith at first base. Smith, definitely a stolen bases threat. He has 11 on the year and has only been caught 4 times. So Odom, who takes his time to the plate, will have to think about Smith while he's on first here. As Hibbert fouls that one away off to the backstop. 0-2 the count.
Broken glass, fix it fast at Marin Auto Glass.
As I was saying earlier, the shadows on the field could be problematic, as right now Levier is going to have to track the ball from the sunlight into the shade and try and see the spin and try and figure out if it's a breaking ball or not. Never an easy task. Smith fakes going, and Hibbert waves badly at that one and misses. That was an ugly strikeout, but a strikeout nonetheless for Odom. A beautiful changeup from him there. So one away, it's top of the first. Dustin Smith still leading off of first base. Katsuaki Furuki now stepping up. As I said, until yesterday, he was leading the Pacific Association in batting average with a .407 and just hitting the tar off of the ball. But last night, 0 for 4, as Pacific's pitching was able to deal with him completely. Smith fakes going again. Furuki grounds it over to second. Kendall's going to field it on the forehand and toss it over to Woodard to get the out. On the play, Smith does go to second, but there's Price Kendall making what is really a difficult play look easy, and that's something he does all the time. And if you talk to any of the front office executives here in San Rafael, they will tell you the 2 things they wanted to do big time were fix the middle of the infield as far as defensive purposes go, and then also fix the bullpen. And they did that very well in the middle of the infield with Gonzalez and Kendall. Both of them very sure-handed fielders and just do a fantastic job. Very few errors. As now Marshall McDonald up at the plate. Smith is going to third to throw down. He is in there with a head-first slide. He was definitely in there easily as Ryan King got the ball down quickly, but not quickly enough. As Smith now has his 12th stolen base on the year. Swing and a miss there on the off-speed pitch from Odom. A good way to come back from the 1-0 count. 1-1 now the count to McDonald. McDonald on the year hitting .308 with 3 home runs. That's good for a team best. Also leading, or has a solid amount of RBIs at 12. That's good for third best on the team. McDonald swings and drives this one into deep left center field. Fontaine circling under it on the warning track, and he will make the catch to retire the side. So for the second straight day, Dustin Smith gets to third base in the top of the first and just stays there as he is stranded. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and Smith, the only runner stranded on base for the Stars in the top of the first inning. We'll move to the bottom of the first. Still no score here. Pacific's getting their first ups. From left to right field, they have Katsuwaki Faruqi, Matt Levier, and Anthony Williams. Williams, a returner from last year, didn't get a lot of playing time and hit around $145, so not the strongest hitting outfielder, but he will see time tonight. Behind the dish, it will be Tyler Kropetsky, who caught last night's game, and then on the mound, Matt Strapoli. Now Strapoli on the year, as I said, 2-1 with that roughly around 6 ERA, but a strong pitcher nonetheless, as he proved last time against the Lumberjacks. And the East Bay Lumberjacks, not a team that are technically in the Pacific Association. They are unaffiliated with any league, as they are a semi-professional club. But they do have some dangerous bats in the lineup, as the Pacifics found out early in the season and then in the preseason. So a shutout performance against them through 7 innings is definitely nothing to shrug at. And we'll see what he's able to do against the Pacifics here. The Pacifics generally fare much better against right-handers than they do against left-handers. As we saw last night, Dallas Mahan had the Pacifics against their backs for the entire first time through the order. Second time through the order, Price Kendall and Derek Hale were totally flummoxed by him, and then Michael Hova drove one over the left field wall. And that was kind of the beginning of the end for Mahan, as he kind of collapsed towards there and ended up giving 5 runs up. Either way, the Pacifics are now ready to come up here. Price Kendall leading off. The loud-talking, sure-footed second baseman for the Pacifics. The 5-tool player has 2 home runs, including hitting one of them last night over the Fenzi Media Group sign in left center field. Kendall's ready for the first pitch and taking all the way, takes a called strike. 0-1 to him. Kendall on the year hitting .378. As he takes a fastball on the outside corner. The last couple games, Kendall has not been happy with the officiating behind the plate. As he swings and grounds this one straight up the middle, it's a chopper. Brown tries to get it, and it bounces off of his glove. I believe that will be charged as an error, although it could go for an infield hit because Kendall was scorching down the line. But it will go as an error to Brown, so credit that in E60 for keeping score at home. And that puts 1 runner on with nobody out for Derek Hale coming to the plate. Hale on the year hitting .287. He had an impressive game last night, 2 for 5 in that one, and scored one of the Pacific's 7 runs. And as he does every game, Hale wiping out the front line of the batter's box and then digging in at the bottom corner as close to the plate as he can get. He loves getting around on that outside pitch and driving it to center. As he's squaring around, pretending to sacrifice, and pulls back to take a ball. Pacific's not afraid to do small ball. They can drive the ball out of the park, as they proved last night, although they haven't had too many home runs on the year Johnny Woodard is at the top with Kyle Donani in that category with 4. As Hale swings hard at that one and drives it over the grandstand straight behind him. 1-1 the count, and I believe Hale would definitely like that pitch back. It was a fastball over the heart of the plate, and he just did not miss it by much. Kendall leads away from first base. He is a stolen bases threat, has yet to be caught this year. Hale squares and bunts it down the first base line. It's a good one. Marshall's over to field it. He will throw it over to Smith, who's covering first, but credit that a sacrifice as Hale gets the productive out and moves Kendall over to second. And now Michael Hova coming out to the My Name is Hove song by Jay-Z. Hova has been in a slump as of late, but last night had 2 big booming hits. One of them that home run that I've mentioned a couple of times now. And he has a chance to put the Pacifics ahead here with Kendall in scoring position at second. Strapoli comes to the plate. Hova taking all the way. It's a fastball off the plate inside. 1-0 to him. Today in batting practice, Hova was working on his opposite field approach as well as hitting the ball up the middle. It's something he likes to do, to be able to move the ball around the field. As he grounds this one to the right side, Smith is going to glove it and throw it on the first, but on the play, Kendall advancing to third. So the out does move Kendall 90 feet up and puts him just one base away from putting the Pacifics up 1-0 with Johnny Woodard coming to the plate. Now on the season, Woodard hitting just over 300, a 301 batting average. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, he does have 4 home runs and 14 RBIs on the year. As first pitch taking, it's a fastball on the inside corner at the knees for a strike. Woodard not afraid to work from behind in the count. He strikes out a lot, but he can put the bat on the ball when he likes to, and that fastball, a little bit of chin music. Woodard maybe just exaggerating a little bit there for effects. 1-1 the count. Bryce Kendall on third, just 90 feet from scoring the first run of the game. As Woodard swings and grounds this one to first, McDonald is going to glove it easily and step on the bag himself to record the out, so the Pacifics get some threatening done, but Kendall is stranded at third base. He reached on an error. Still no hits given up by Strapoli. We're going to move to the top of the second inning. Still no score between the Pacifics and the Stars. You are watching this game on Marin Television.
Around the bases. On your mark. Get set. Go. Sean has already paid up that staggered start as he hits second base. And the Drake he's at American Bandstand. John Dempsey will win going away. Congratulations, John. The Drake was done in by an old Dick Clark promo. And his record remains intact as the Drake is defeated once again.
Next time I get the chance.
Come on down to Mr. Pickle's Sandwich Shop, located at 1014 Court Street, right in the courtyard of downtown Santa Fe. The freshest ingredients and delicious bread from Boutique Bakery, baked fresh all day. And remember, it's not just a sandwich, it's Mr. Pickles.
Redwood Credit Union. Apply today with a local lender you can trust for your own auto, credit card, or business loan needs. Redwood Credit Union is a proud supporter of our local community and the San Rafael Pacific.
Hey fans, it's time for the Il Fornaio Lucky Signature Inning. Open up your souvenir game program and turn to page 16. If your Il Fornaio ad is signed by Logan Odom, congratulations, you just won a $25 gift card from Il Fornaio. And to the services desk to claim your prize. And thank you to all the great people at Il Fornaio, the place to experience authentic Italian dining. Leading second for the Stars, designated hitter number 26, Brendan Davis.
And welcome back for the top of the second inning. Brendan Davis, after swinging and missing at that one, has a 1-1 count against him. Davis has been on fire as of late, hitting around 400 in his last 7 days. As he swings and misses at that one in the dirt. 1-2, and that's something we saw Davis do a couple of times last night when he struck out, as Tyler Pearson was working the curveball very well. And Davis, just a free swinger, was not patient enough to lay off of those. As he swings and misses at that changeup, grabs some pie meat, as Mike Kruko would say. 2 strikeouts now in the game for Odom.
Batting 6 for the Stars, catcher number 21.
And now Tyler Kopretzky going to come to the plate. Kopretzky, a .297 hitter on the year. Just 6 doubles for him and 19 hits. No other extra base hits to speak of. But he's solid behind the plate, as we saw last night. He's been catching a fantastic staff lately, as the Stars have just been on fire with their pitching. As Odom misses up and away with that fastball. The wind picking up here in the shadows, definitely starting to creep over the field. Bryce Kendall and Johnny Woodard are both in shadow at second and first respectively, as Kopretzky fouls that one straight over the grandstand.
Picks it fast, and Marin, auto class.
Kopretzky from the left-handed side of the plate stands him very close to the plate. Surprised that Odom actually hasn't backed him off the plate. It's something he will do. Odom not afraid to own that inside corner. I was about to share it, but he doesn't share it with anybody. He's not afraid to own it and back the batter up if they stand too close. As that changeup gets away from Ryan King, so 3-1 the count, and you can bet that Kopretzky can set in a fastball in this situation. And as a pitcher, definitely not a spot you want to be in. Any 3-1 count, it's tough to work backwards when your off-speed stuff isn't working as well. As that pitch barely missing the outside corner, and that'll give Kopretzky his first walk of the game.
Batting 7 for the Stars, right fielder number 11.
So with 1 away in the top of the second, the Stars do have something going, and now Anthony Williams stepping up to the plate. Williams on the year hitting .275, listed as a second baseman, but obviously is versatile as he is playing right field tonight. As he takes that first pitch cutter for a strike, a good pitch from Odom there. 0-1, and definitely a big first pitch to come back from that walk. Always after issuing a walk or anything bad happening to a pitcher, you have to come back with that first pitch strike. Odom checks Kopretzky, and Williams is going to call time. Odom was taking a little bit too much time there, and Williams said, I want to dictate the pace of this game, so timeout is called, and we'll redo the 0-1 count. Pacific's outfield shaded fairly straight away. Hale far off the line in left field, almost in left center. Swing and a miss there from Williams. He wasn't even close to that one. He's in an 0-2 hole now. Odom now has so many tools to work with. Fastball, curveball. He has that cutter. He also has a changeup that he loves to throw in there, especially with 2 strikes. That can just get hitters off balance all day. There's a hard breaking ball for strike 3. Odom's 3rd strikeout on the day. They're 2 away in the top of the second. So Caleb Hatcher stepping up to the plate. Hatcher was signed yesterday. The Stars did a little bit of moving around a couple players. They traded one of their players, and then Hatcher was signed yesterday. He took over the third base duties and did a decent enough job to earn back his spot tonight. He was 1 for 4 last night. As that first pitch goes off of the umpire's shin guard, Kopretzky is rounding second. He's going to head for third, as Ryan King was couldn't find the ball, but Kopretzky, as Ryan King does get it, is going to hold up at second. An interesting turn of events there, as couldn't tell if it went off of Ryan King's shin guard or the home plate umpires. But Kopretzky gets a free base and now is in scoring position with 2 away. And Hatcher just has to work a little bit less. Odom is set, and he comes to the plate. A swing and a ground ball up the middle. Kendall fielding it on the forehand. The running throw over to first. in time. Kendall doing another bit of beautiful leather work as he leaps over the line to keep the good luck intact. So one walk and one runner stranded for the Stars in the top of the second, but nothing more than that as we're going to move to the bottom of the second inning. Still no score. Pacifics coming up with the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in their order. We'll be right back on Marin TV.
Hi, I'm Amy G. Go Pacific. And when you need suspended acoustical ceilings, go with Northgate Acoustics. They're your acoustical ceiling specialist.
Hey fans, we're still looking for our winner for that Il Fornaio gift certificate. Please check your souvenir program on page 16. If Logan Odom has signed your program, you're our winner. Head down to the guest services desk to claim your prize. It's a $25 Il Fornaio gift card. Once again, that's page 16, and the signature is Logan Odom. We thank the people at Il Fornaio, the place to experience authentic Italian dining. Hey, Pacifics fans, did you know?
And we are just about ready for the bottom of the second inning here from Albert Park. It's a beautiful night for baseball as the lights are coming on. Not a cloud in the sky, which is totally the opposite of what we saw just a couple of days ago when everything was rained out. Tuesday's game, in fact, the first game, what should have been the first game of the series, was rained out. The entire infield was basically a puddle. Third base was underwater, home plate was far underwater, and luckily the pitcher's mound was covered, but the field was absolutely unplayable, and thanks to the efforts of Mike Ferenzi, Pacifics Association Commissioner Mike Marshall, and a bunch of the other staff, the stadium operations staff of Steve Detweiler, myself, and a few of the rest of the interns around the Pacifics office, we were able to get the field back in playing condition for last night, and then tonight, because of the rains, it's just been a beautiful, beautiful playing surface. And now the grass is more alive than it has ever been. So now Kyle Donani leading off the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Donani, Gonzalez, and Fontaine hitting for the Pacifics. As he takes a first pitch strike. 0-1 the count. Donani hitting .395 on the year. That's good for the team leading average. He's also been on fire as of late as he grounds this one to shortstop. Brown handles the awkward hop and throws it over to first to get the out. So quickly one away in the bottom of the second inning. And Danny Gonzalez stepping up to the plate. So Gonzalez on the year hitting about .316, has a tendency to hit RBI doubles into the gaps. He's a great gap shooter. His first pitch swinging, he drives this one, a high fly ball down the right field line. Williams is tracking it down and makes the catch, leaping into foul territory there. A fantastic defensive play by Williams, and 2 away in the bottom of the second. And now we have another member of our broadcast crew joining us, Graham Hooper, a student working on Marin Television, usually doing a little bit of production up here in the booth tonight. Graham, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. This is actually hopefully for the Giants, but any baseball team will do, you know?
A little bit of hometown bias there. All right, well, yeah. Chase Fontaine stepping in, takes a first pitch fastball down and inside.
Right now I'm just living the dream, so glad to be here. Any way I can help, I'm happy to. So yeah. Oh, that was strike, but didn't look like it to me. So whatever, the umpiring. So
either way, the count is 1-1 to Fontaine.
Yeah.
That breaking ball in the dirt is taken by Fontaine very well. 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, yeah. Okay, bye.
So Strapoli ready. He comes to the plate. 2-1. That fastball is high. 3-1. So now Fontaine, who's a very dangerous hitter, can definitely sit on a fastball here. Strapoli comes to the plate. Fontaine grounds this one in front of the plate and then foul off to the right side. The count moves full 3-2, and credit to Poli. That was a good job by him to come back from a 3-1 or a count when he was behind and make the count full.
Yeah.
It's now a 3-2 pitch. Fontaine takes it for a ball high, so Fontaine for the second straight night will get on base via the walk. And that'll bring up Kevin Reinking. Now Reinking, a new player to the Pacifics. He replaced the injured Matt Kavanaugh. Well, not entirely replaced, but Kavanaugh, who will be out for about another month with a injured hamstring. So Reinking is stepping in, and in his first at-bat last night, Reinking drove in 2 runs with a base hit up the middle. And when I talked to him about it, as Fontaine goes, throw it on to second, Fontaine slides. He is safe, just beating the tag of Smith there was Fontaine. That's a little bit of experience for you. Fontaine was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2005 draft by the Atlanta Braves, and it showed right there as he got into second safely and put himself in scoring position. But as I was saying, I caught up with Reinking before the game today and asked him what it was like in his first Pacifics at-bat to drive in a couple of runs, and he said, "Oh, I felt lucky. It was just I didn't want to do anything special with it. I just wanted to get a base hit, and I was able to do that." So Reinking doing his job and did a fantastic job behind the plate as well last night. He's in an 0-2 hole now to Strapoli, who checks Fontaine at second. He's not going. Reinking swings and fouls it out of play off to the right side. 0-2 the count.
That one went far.
As Strapoli is set at the chest, Fontaine leads away from second. Staying there, swing and a miss at a breaking ball there. Reinking was fooled badly, so he strikes out to end the threat. No damage done by the Pacifics in the bottom of the second. We're going to move to the bottom of the third as Fontaine was stranded. Still no score and just one hit between both teams. We'll be right back on Marin TV.
Hi, tonight we have here Matt. Hi, Matt.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. You're a local guy, right?
I am, Concord. Yep.
And you went to San Francisco State?
I went to San Francisco State for my last 2 years of college.
All right, so you are a local guy.
I am.
And you get to play in Marin County.
This is great, being in front of friends and family every night. This is awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you play against the San Quentin Giants?
I did. I caught against them for the first 6 innings, yeah.
Which team were you on? San Quentin or?
I actually got traded mid-game over to San Rafael, so I'm with San Rafael now.
Oh, okay. No, how was it playing the Giants? Because I'm familiar with them, and they take their baseball very, very seriously.
You know, it was a great experience. To be honest, I think about it pretty much every day when I cross the Richmond Bridge. I get to look over there and remember the experience, and you know, to be a part of that is something we won't forget. And just, you know, those guys are in there, you know, doing whatever they can to get by. And for us to bring a little joy to them really meant a lot to us.
Yeah, and, you know, it's great. They bring joy to you, and you bring a lot of joy to them. I know that.
Right, yeah, that's what we were there for.
Okay, well, thanks, Matt.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
And that was the third member of our broadcast crew, Kramer Herzog. Kramer, thank you for that awesome interview with Matt Kavanaugh. Felix Brown at the bottom of the order for the Stars is leading off here in the top of the third inning. Takes a first pitch strike from Odom.
That was a nice pitch.
As Odom is ready and comes to the plate, Brown squares to bunt, doesn't pull it back, but takes it for a ball. He might have pulled it back a little bit there. And the count now 1-1. As that pitch down out of the zone. 2-1 now the count to him. And in fact, the scorekeeper was a little bit confused by, they thought that Brown left the bat out as well, and they had 0-2 on the scoreboard. I was hoping I was right, and ended up being okay as Brown grounds this one to the right side. Kendall ever so smooth to Woodard for the out. Quickly one away in the top of the third inning.
Easy play. Just toss it over to the first baseman, get the out.
And Kendall makes a habit of doing that. He loves defense as much as he loves offense. He's definitely the most vocal player on the field.
That's what baseball is all about. I think that you just come out to the yard to play. You know, and you play with offense and defense. So, yeah.
So Dustin Smith takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
Ooh, nice pitch.
That pitch was just off the inside corner.
Still a nice pitch, though.
Not missing by much, as Odom likes to live on the edge of the plate. A hanging changeup is popped up into shallow right field. Kendall moving back, Hova moving in, but it'll be Kendall who ends up making the catch. Oh, and now 2 outs as Kendall is getting some action over at second base today.
Yeah, like you said, he's not missing by much, and if he is, it looks like it's only like probably the length of a quarter or something, you know, like the width totally. It's got nice precision and accuracy.
Well, Graham, baseball is a game of inches.
Yeah.
And every inch counts. As Mitch Levier now stepping up, takes a first pitch fastball down below the ball or zone for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Nice night for baseball as well, isn't it?
It is a gorgeous night for baseball. The shadows are creeping on as Kyle Donani is now entirely enshrouded as that breaking ball misses. Danny Gonzalez, Chase Fontaine, Michael Hova kind of, and Derek Hale are all still in the sunlight, and that can play some tricks on them as the ball will be coming out of the shadows and probably quickly to them as Levier swings and misses at that one. Odom had him off balance there. 2-1 the count.
That was a nice decision to go the off-speed stuff, you know, because they're so locked in on the hard and fast, and then you just trick them.
That one's grounded to the right side. Kendall with a diving stop, can't make it. So Levier has himself a hit, just the second of the day for the Stars. And with 2 away, the Stars have a little bit of something cooking here. And Katsuuki Furuki coming to the plate. Furuki 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out in his last at bat. Now Furuki, a veteran of professional baseball, played 10 years in Japan's professional systems. And he's been an absolute leader for the Stars this year, leading the team in RBIs with 25. As Odom paints the inside corner with a curveball there, 0-1 the count.
Nice pitch.
Odom set at the chest. Levier leads away from first base. Furuki waves and misses at that one. Ryan Kicks checking over at first. It looked to us from here, this perspective, as though Levier was out there.
Yeah, it was very.
But the umpire does have the final say. He wasn't in the best positions as he was blocked by both Woodard and Levier there.
It was very close.
Either way, he is called safe. Still an 0-2 count to Katsuaki Furuki. As Odom comes to the plate, Furuki barely staying alive. That was kind of an excuse me swing. He fouls it off to the left side. 0-2, the count will remain.
Yeah, I think that swing was where they're like, okay, should I swing now or what? You know?
Definitely that kind of point where you have to swing at it because it looks like it could be a strike, but you'd rather not because it's not the best pitch to hit. That ball fouled off to the left side. Donani giving a chase. It's over by the bullpen, and it'll bounce just by the batting cage turtle and go out of play. Donani gave that one a solid run for it, but wasn't able to come up with the catch.
Careful. If he would have caught that would have been on top plays on some sporting event thing, you know, like ESPN.
Oh, 0-2 the count will remain to Katsuaki Furuki. Odom is ready at the chest. Levier goes. Pitch is taken outside. Ryan King's throw down to second is way high and into center field. Levier is going to stay at second as Fontaine was right there to back it up. So Ryan King sends a little bit of airmail Danny Gonzalez's way, and Levier will get the stolen base as credit to it.
That guy had some serious speed.
So now with Levier in scoring position, Faruqi takes a fastball down and inside for a ball. He had to kind of dance out of the way of that one just a little bit. 2-2 the count.
I can't imagine what it must feel like to get hit by like a 70-mile-an-hour pitch. You know, I don't even want to imagine a 90-mile-an-hour pitch.
Odom does pump the ball up there in the mid-80s. He's a hard thrower for a sidearmer. Faruqi waves and misses at that breaking ball for strike 3. Odom's 4th strikeout on the day. So there's a hit by Mitch Levier, which doesn't end up getting into anything. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man stranded. So in the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Pacifics will be sending out Detweiler, Kendall, and Hale. And we'll be right back to Marin TV.
What has CMCM given to me?
The Marin Community Media Center is a place where I get to be creative.
CMCM has allowed our youth to participate in filming community events.
Extraordinarily high quality training. I'm more engaged in the community.
You get to meet all kinds of people.
It really fulfills me.
It's a very, very supportive environment.
Community media is about us. Community media is about you.
Where it's our voice.
We are the voice of the people.
Without community media, where's the local voice? Where's the local diversity?
If we want to see this happening and continuing as such a great service, we need to support it.
Support your local media center because you'll be a better citizen if you do.
Support your local media center because your ideas matter.
Because it's important for our youth.
Because it's vital.
Because it's invaluable.
And welcome back to Albert Park for the bottom of the 3rd inning. Steve Detweiler sets the lead off for the Pacifics. Detweiler, the local hometown hero, grew up in San Rafael, went to San Rafael High School, and started last year's home opener, the first game ever played at Albert Park or by the Pacifics, with 2 home runs. Wow. He only hit 1 more for the rest of the year, but Detweiler, just an all-around great guy, also doubles as the manager of stadium operations, taking that fastball low for a ball.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't matter about what you do on the field. It's how your spirit is in the game.
Well, Detweiler, he hasn't seen a lot of playing time. This is his 2nd consecutive start. He's loving it. I got the chance to talk to him before the game, and he loves the playing time and just loves to be able to get in as he crushes this one down the left field line. Faruqi's given a run for it, and it bounces up and off the wall. Detweiler is rounding first. He is going into second, where he will hold up with a stand-up double. So Steve Detweiler hits a booming double down the left field line and puts himself in scoring position with nobody out.
What's your name again? What's your name again? What?
So now the Pacifics have batted around, and Bryce Kendall coming up to the plate for them. In his last at bat, Kendall reached on the air by Felix Brown at short. The ball just kind of trickled under his glove. He eventually went to third after a sacrifice hit by Derek Hale and then a ground out by Michael Hova, but he was stranded there when Johnny Woodard grounded out to first. Hale with his open stance, waiting on the first pitch from Strapoli. It's a breaking ball that doesn't really break that much, and Kendall had to duck out of the way of it. 1-0 the count.
I think he missed a little bit on that. I could see with the arm action, he meant for it to curve a bit more.
As Hale takes that one, a little bit of chin music there. Hale visibly not happy about that. Kendall, excuse me, not happy about that. Kendall definitely not one to hide his thoughts or his feelings. He's a very loud and vocal player, and especially with body language, as you can see right there. When he took that pitch, he took a couple of steps away to take a deep breath. As that fastball not even close to the strike zone, Strapoli maybe rattled a little bit by Detweiler's double there, as he's missed badly with his first 3 pitches to Kendall, and Kendall probably will be taking all the way here.
Yep. Yeah. If you can get a walk, I say just go for it, usually, because it's no matter what. If you get another guy on base, there could be another potential run.
And he does take the ball there for a walk. So that's the second walk on the day issued by Strapoli. And now the Pacifics really have something cooking with runners on first and second, nobody out. And Derek Hale stepping up to the plate. And once you start getting to the heart of this order, it's not somewhere you want to be as an opposing pitcher.
Yeah, because this
Hova's a very strong hitter. Woodard a power hitter. Donani is hitting the tar off the ball right now. Right around 400 is on the season, and he's tied for the team lead with 4 home runs. So not a good place you want to be as a pitcher.
Last night, I was here last night. It was what I would call a blowout, 7-1. The Pacifics won, and it was there were like 2 or 3 home runs, weren't there?
There were 2 home runs by the Pacifics. Michael Hova hit one in the 3rd inning, and then Bryce Kendall hit one a few innings later. That one was an absolute bomb over the left center field wall. Kendall, a 5-tool player, can hit for power as well as average.
The later one, the second I heard it off the bat yesterday, I knew it was gone. It was one of those, that you just crack and it was out.
Well, Kendall's last home run before that had been the walk-off home run that he hit in the bottom of the 11th against the Vallejo Admirals in the second game of that series. He'd been in a little bit of a drought since then, but he came back, and there was no doubt about it, as you said.
Pacifics are playing good baseball right now. Good team.
As that ball is in the dirt, Detweiler will be holding his second. As definitely credit Krobetsky. Fantastic block behind the plate. That ball bounced at about 58 feet. So Derek Hale standing in with a 1-2 count against him. Strapoli looking for his second strikeout of the game. Hale swings and lifts this one into shallow right field. Williams is giving chase, and he will call everybody off and make the catch. Detweiler fakes the tag from third, but he will hold, as that one was not nearly deep enough to move even the fastest runner over. So now 1 away from Michael Hova, who's definitely in an RBI situation here and could put the Pacifics up early.
Yep, and he was one of the guys who hit one of the home runs last night, so you want to be very careful about the location. And because especially if the pitcher, if Strapoli is rattled right now, then it's one of those things that you got to be extra careful, because any little mistake, it could go anywhere. It could go out, it could go for a bloop into right center, so be careful.
Today Hova is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second in his last at-bat as he takes the first pitch fastball on the outside corner. That was well placed by Strapoli. 0-1 the count.
And here they've started the Hova chant, so trying to get him to, come on, bring one in, so.
Strapoli checks that while it comes to the plate. Hova hits a curveball over to short. Brown will field it, throw on a second for 1. The relay onto first, not in time. So Hova, who is not at full strength with his hamstring, legs it out, and credit Bryce Kendall for going into second hard with the slide. So now with 2 away, the Pacifics have runners on first and third, and they need a hit here. Today so far they have no hits with runners in scoring position. Obviously, no runs on the board, but it's something that has to change with Johnny Woodard coming to the plate.
Another semi-local. He's from Oakland, so he knows the area. So maybe there's some family members in the crowd tonight. You never know, right?
You never do know. The Pacifics, the fans are almost like a family here as they come out and support every single game as Woodard takes that ball.
Especially if you've been here at the stadium, like if you see it, like the seats are right down on the field. It just feels so cool, It's, yeah.
As Woodard grounds that one off the plate that'll be called a foul ball for a strike.
Did that one hit off his leg? Because if it did, that's got to hurt,
It hit right off the front of the playground. It was just one of those ones where he swung and a little bit of a break onto that ball, and he just topped it straight down.
It was kind of in front of him, so I didn't see it quite clearly, but yeah.
So Strapoli working with 2 away. Detweiler leads away from third. Hova from first, neither of them particularly a stolen bases threat, as Woodard leans out of the way of that fastball. 2-1 the count to him.
Good take on that pitch. I think I could see he wanted to swing at it, but then last second he realized it was going to be up high, so.
Woodard takes that one for a strike. Strapoli coming back into the strike zone with that pitch. 2-2 now the count. As Strapoli just 1 strike away from getting himself out of the self-made jam.
Looks like he's calmed down a little bit.
Swing and a miss by Woodard at the breaking ball, and he was not even close to that, visibly frustrated. is Johnny Woodard after that strikeout. So the Pacifics get something going with a double from Steve Detweiler and a walk to Price Kendall, but nothing else ends up happening as they don't score a run in the bottom of the third inning. We'll move to the top of the fourth inning here at Albert Park. Still no score between the Pacifics and the Stars. We'll be right back on Marin Television.
We believe media should reflect the community that it serves.
That media can foster community development.
That media can create a space for public discourse
and government transparency.
We believe
media can educate
and inform.
That there needs to be
more local media.
Local media made
by your fellow residents
and neighbors.
That this media should be made by
and for people.
And not corporations just seeking profits.
We believe
TV
can still be worth saving.
And that it begins here at the Community Media Center of Marin.
Support our efforts, support your community, and donate now.
And welcome back to Albert Park for the bottom of the fourth inning. I am now joined by another member of the Marin TV broadcast crew, Randy Shapiro. Randy, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. The game's nice, the weather's nice, can't complain.
Well, Randy coming on, do a little bit of color commentary for us here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you in college right now, high school? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going to be a senior at Tam High next year. I'm the video editor for the Tam News, so I saw this program and I was like, it's right up my alley, you know, broadcasting baseball games. Love the sport, love to watch it on TV, so it's really a great experience to kind of make that happen and see the technical side of things.
Yeah, it's always interesting behind the scenes to see how it's different, to see how it's presented and how you actually work. As we are ready for the bottom of the fourth, Marshall McDonald leading off. So is broadcasting something you're interested in?
I think so. I think I might want to look into it as I'm looking into colleges. So definitely something that interests me.
Well, I'm glad to have you aboard.
Thank you. Good to be here.
As McDonald now has a 1-1 count to him. Odom into his windup very quickly delivers. McDonald swings and lines that one up the middle. Gonzalez gives a chase, but nothing doing as that one will get into the middle for Hawaii's third hit of the game. And for the fourth straight inning, and pretty much every inning this game, Hawaii has a base runner on base.
Yeah, nothing you can do about that. When you get a line drive that goes right by second base, if it's hit hard enough, no chance of catching it.
So now Brendan Davis stepping up to the plate in his first at-bat. Davis struck out swinging badly on a curveball. Odom, the tall right-hander, set at the belt. He winds and fires. A swing and a miss by Davis. 0-1 the count to him. Davis hitting 300 in the last week. He was very hot, but he's cooled down as of the last couple of games. As he's way behind that fastball from Odom. Seems like Odom can pretty much do whatever he wants to him right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really his game going on. Total control.
So nobody out, top of the fourth inning. 0-2 count against Brendan Davis. Davis does have some pop in his bat, though. 1 home run and 12 RBIs for him on the year. Odom comes to the plate, swing and a miss, strike 3. So for the second time today, Davis will grab some pine, and there's 1 away in the top of the fourth.
Now batting for the Stars, number 21, Tyler Krobetsky.
So now Tyler Krobetsky stepping up to the plate. Krobetsky catching today is 0 for 1 on the day, 0 for 0. He walked in his last time up and then advanced to second, but was stranded there.
Yeah, he's got a good eye for pitches. You know, he can tell if that ball is there to hit or if it's, you know, not going to be there. So, see what he does this at bat.
Krobetsky fouls that one straight back.
Almost hit the ball boy there. Glad he's okay.
So Krobetsky, an alumnus of Spring Arbor University, a place where he had, there was one roster spot that was opened up, and he tried out for the team. It was in December. And the coach said about him, quote, he was perfect for the spot we needed. He had the offensive presence, he had the defensive presence, he had the attitude that we really wanted for that spot. So credit to Krobetsky. He's a hard player, and the Stars have taken advantage of him so far this year. He's hitting just shy of 300 in his been a staple behind the plate for them. As Odom tries a hard slider down in the dirt and doesn't get Krobetsky to chase. 2-1 the count to him.
Yeah, that pitch wasn't even close.
Odom, a strikeout pitcher with hard stuff coming from that low 3/4 sidearm angle, and not afraid to chase after a hitter and try and get them to go for something out of the zone, but that one wasn't quite close enough. As a 2-1 pitches. Fouled back and then into the Stars dugout. A lot of smiles as the bat boy Lyle was just under that one the second time this inning. He's almost been hit by one.
Yeah. Must have a ball magnet on him or something.
Lyle, the returning bat boy, he was the first ever Pacific's bat boy last year, and he's returning this year for his second year of work. The team loves him. He's all around the players all the time as Krobetsky barely stays alive with that one off the end of the bat. The count will remain at 2-2. Still one away in the top of the 4th inning. Hawaii has one runner on base. That is Marshall McDonald. Tyler Krobetsky trying to move him over. As Odom comes to the plate, a swing and a foul straight back. As Krobetsky giving Odom something of a battle.
Yeah, I mean, he's there, and if it's down the plate, you know, he's going to knock it off. He's going to wait for the pitch he wants, and so far it's worked out for him well.
That last pitch was the 7th of this at-bat already, and Tyler, you just came back with a fastball, or Ryan, excuse me. You just came back with a fastball. What do you come up with here if you're Odom?
You know what? I'd go fast again because I think the batter's thinking that he's going to slow one down, so it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Soto comes back with a breaker and it misses down low. 3-2 now. The count has been worked full, where it was just 0-2 a moment ago.
Quite the at-bat going.
Shadows have crept pretty much all the way onto the field. Danny Gonzalez and Derek Hale at shortstop and left field respectively still have to deal with the setting sun over the backdrop just behind us. As McDonald is going, but it's ball 4 outside, so it doesn't particularly matter that he left. So with that walk, the Stars now have 2 runners on with just 1 out, and Odom has himself in something of a jam.
Yeah, the pitcher's really got to be careful here because you don't want to load the bases, but you can't give him something that he can hit either.
So now Anthony Williams stepping up to the plate. Williams 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out in his first at-bat, and Odom probably looking for something just like that here.
Yeah.
Williams standing in, very crouched on the right side. Odom winds and deals. Changeup swung on and fouled right off of Reinking behind the plate. 0-1 quickly, the count to Williams. McDonald leads away from second, Krobetsky away from first. Krobetsky just drew his second walk of the game, a very patient hitter. As he's taken everything that Odom has thrown him and pretty much just fouled off the stuff he didn't like and taken walks both times. Odom checks McDonald and then comes to the plate. An excuse me swing goes right to Woodard at first base, but it bounces off of his glove and then into shallow right field. Woodard quickly gets that, but that's the second Pacific's error on the day, or excuse me, the first Pacific's error on the day, as that was a no-doubter for the scorekeeper, and they even beat the end of the play and definitely beat me to where I looked at the scoreboard. So now bases are loaded, Randy, exactly where you said the Pacifics don't want to be.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. You got to make sure that you handle your business and get this out because, you know, bases loaded is not the situation you want to be in when any time of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but hopefully it'll work out well for the Pacifics.
So pitching coach Jeff Russell heading out to the mound and giving Odom a little talking to. Probably not too much. It was a fairly brief one, and Caleb Hatcher stepping up to the plate. Hatcher on the day is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second in his last at-bat as Odom misses badly with that small breaker. 1-0 the count. Bases are loaded, just one away in the top of the fourth inning. The Stars easily knocking on the doors, and Hatcher would love to give his team a lead right here.
Yeah.
As he nubs that one foul. count now 1-1.
Yeah, this guy also seems like a patient batter, so, you know, the last thing you want is to walk in a run. I'd rather the ball, you know, come in, rattle it off, and let the fielders take care of business, but.
Hatcher is new to the Stars. He played last night in his first game ever, went 0 for 3 as he slices this one fouling onto Anderson Street. So now Odom has himself a 1-2 count to work with. He has a couple of pitches to waste where he could probably get Hatcher to strike out again. That would be big for him in this situation, as it would take the pressure off the defense, which is not playing in, by the way. They are playing at standard depth. Looks as though the Gonzalez and Kendall, it's short in second, will roll it up the middle, and Donani will probably touch and go at third. So Odom comes to the plate, a swing and a miss at a curveball there. So Odom gets a much needed strikeout, a morale booster, and also another out on the board. So now 2 away, and Felix Brown coming to the plate. That is Odom's 6th strikeout of the game. Third, in the Pacific Association with strikeouts, with now 37. As he has been dealing all year. As Brown, first pitch swinging, grounds this one to Woodard. He has it this time. And will trot over to first himself to avoid any damage. Talk about clutch pitching there from Odom.
Yeah, definitely. And first baseman there makes up for us there and takes care of business. Seals the inning off.
So no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 walk, and 3 runners left on base. Still no damage done by the Stars. We're going to move to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's going to be Kyle Donani, Danny Gonzalez, and Chase Fontaine batting for the Pacifics in the bottom of the 4th. Let's keep it here and let's talk a little baseball. You know, it's been a good season for the Pacifics so far, Randy. How much have you been able to pay attention to them?
Well, you know, I've been working on a couple games here, and you know, the main thing that draws me, you know, about the San Rafael Pacifics in specific is the kind of atmosphere you have in the ballpark. And I mean, it's just an amazing place. My first time coming here was actually a couple games ago when we broadcast our first game. And I mean, just to walk in, it was such a surprise to see, I mean, this great atmosphere. You know, the weather's always nice here in San Rafael, and it's such a great thing to come here and see all these fans, you know, getting excited for their home team. So.
And talk a little bit about the Marin TV experience. I mean, obviously, you know, you're in high school, you're getting to do something that I would say maybe 5% of high school kids across the country get to do, and probably about less than 1% who actually get to broadcast a professional baseball game. How's your experience at Marin TV been?
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to see the flyer, you know, that had everything that was really involved with the program. I was surprised that I hadn't heard about this somewhere else. You know, I picked up a flyer kind of near the Marin TV building, and I was stunned. I mean, how could such an amazing program, you know, I hadn't heard about it, signed up that day, and I'm so glad I did, because it's really an amazing program, and you get to broadcast games, you get to experience what it's like to maybe you know, pursue this as a career as you grow older. But I think the main thing is just you get to come to this great ballpark every single night and see the games and really watch them, and how the Pacifics grow as a team too. You're starting to see a little bit of that early in the season here, but definitely a great opportunity. I'm so glad I found it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the Marin TV is glad to have you. I know I am here. You're doing a fantastic job doing some color commentating, so thank you for coming up.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. So Kyle Donani leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Pacifics. He's leading the team in batting average, hitting around 397 on the year. He's been on fire as of late, hitting about 350 and adding a lot of power to the Pacifics lineup. As the first pitch from Stapoli to him is a breaking ball on the outside corner. I was about to say off and had to catch myself there. Excellently located pitch from Stapoli. Donani caught the last roster spot on the Pacifics, and he has not disappointed as he laces this one into the right center field gap. That'll get down for extra bases.
That looks like a
bounce off against the Coke sign. Donani is rounding second, and he will stop there as the relay was in to Brown. Brown lets it get away from him, but the ball is bouncing on the infield, and Donani will hold up at second. So a leadoff double, second straight inning where the Pacifics have done that. And now they have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. A pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, I mean, that throw from right field, it looked like he could have gone 3, but we're happy with 2. 2 is all right. It's comfortable at second, and definitely a good place for the next batter.
Just the second hit for the Pacifics today. Both hits have been doubles. And nobody's really been able to square up Stapoli too well, with the exception of Detweiler and Donani right there. So we'll see He is in shadows, so the first inning this game for the Pacifics. The ball has been going from the sun to the shadows from before then.
Right.
So we'll see whether that affects the Pacifics hitters at all, whether they can track it better.
Right. It's going to be a little more difficult, but it could be, it could not be. I guess we're just going to have to see how it plays out. If anything, they're used to it because they play this game at this time, at this place, every single time they have a home game. So.
Well, that first pitch gets away from Krabetsky, but it bounces right back to him. But Cal Denani already on third base by the time Krabetsky got the ball back. So now a runner on third with nobody out, just 90 feet from putting the Pacifics ahead. And interestingly enough, the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings is when the Pacifics tend to score. The second time through the heart of the order, they tend to start squaring up the ball. And maybe it is the sunlight. Maybe they are just used to it, and this is when they see the ball the best. But last night they scored the bulk of their runs in this time frame, and they are looking to do so tonight as Gonzalez laces this one into left field for a base hit. Denani will score easily, and Danny Gonzo Gonzalez getting his 25th RBI on the year. That's good for second best on the team. And the Pacifics lead 1-0.
You can hear the crowd. I mean, they're fired up. They're getting the team fired up. This feels like a good inning.
And Chase Fontaine stepping up to the plate. Fontaine walked in his first at bat and then stole second, but was stranded there. And he's been trying to come out of the slump. We'll see if he can do it here as that fastball is off of the outside corner for a ball. The wind at Albert Park today still blowing fairly strongly out to left center field. As Fontaine loves to work to the opposite field. That was during batting practice today. He was really working that opposite field approach where he was driving it a couple of shots off of the Bank of Marin sign out in left center field and then one off of the Il Davide sign as well. So if he could do that here, the Pacifics wouldn't complain as Gonzalez with good speed from first would be able to get there.
Pickoff attempt, he was there pretty safely.
Gonzalez is a stolen bases threat. He has stolen 2 and has yet to be caught for the Pacifics. As Fontaine lines that one off of the brand new old-fashioned scoreboard, and it knocks the 0 down, and Pacific's intern Ari Wilkes there, excuse me, actually that's Lauren Clauston, excuse me, but barely dodging a bullet was Lauren there, and the 0 is a little bit off the hinges there. Maybe the nail came off, as that one was absolutely laced off the bat of Fontaine. Ring him up, strike 3 on the delayed call. Fontaine can't believe it, as that ball looked to be below the knees, but one away in the bottom of the 4th inning now, and Kevin Reinking stepping up to the plate. Reinking 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in his last at bat. So Reinking, the newest member of the Pacifics team, but he has played a lot of professional ball before. As that ball well blocked, Gonzalez is going to throw down to second in time as Gonzalez tried to slide around it, but couldn't get down there. As credit to Krabetsky picking that ball up very quickly and firing it down.
If anything, I think he almost slid into the tag there. I think he could have gotten around to the left, but it's all right. Great attempt, great attempt.
So all of a sudden, the Pacific's threat is erased, and Reinking now is batting with nobody on base. Yeah, Reinking reached the AA level, in the San Diego Padres organization. He was undrafted. He's from New York originally. He was undrafted and then came into the Padres organization, reached AA, and then played in the Royals and Rockies organizations as he swings and misses at that fastball. But a very experienced veteran catcher.
Yeah.
And a good presence for the Pacifics to have.
Yeah, definitely. AA for the Padres. Sounds like an outstanding catcher. I guess we'll see how he plays this game. So far, doing a great job getting that stolen base threat out of the way.
As that ball bounces in the dirt, Strapoli still working out of the stretch. I'm not sure if he realizes that there are no runners left on base. So we'll see whether he adjusts or just decides to finish out this inning in the stretch. Either way, minus the 1 run, he has limited the damage somewhat. As that one nipped Reinking on the shoulder as he tried to get out of the way. So he hits Reinking and puts him on first base, and now Steve Detweiler, who doubled his first time up, coming up to the plate.
I guess the pitcher was so comfortable with people on base that he decided to stay in the stretch. Sometimes it's a little more difficult for a pitcher to change things up mid-inning, and I guess he thought he might be comfortable there, but no problem now as he has to be in the stretch, man on first.
So Detweiler takes a healthy cut at that one, was looking at the left field foul pole when he finished swinging. Not happy with himself after that swing, 0-1. Detweiler was a member of the 2008 Fresno State Bulldogs championship team. He was actually the right fielder who caught the final out of the World Series. As he scores around a bunt, and then bunts it about 40 feet in the air and well fouled down the left field line. And he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. And in that championship game, in fact, the Bulldogs scored 6 runs, and Detweiler was responsible for every single one of them. And he just says, every time he talks to him about it, he just gets this kind of sheepish grin on his face and just says, it was a good day to have a good day, you know. See if I can do it again someday. As the 0-2 pitch, strike 3 called on the outside corner. Detweiler upset with himself for taking that. So the inning is out, but not before the Pacifics do some damage. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're going to go to the top of the 5th inning with the Pacifics leading 1-0, but not before we bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Kramer Herzog, who will have a guest down the first base sideline momentarily. But before we go down to him, talk a little bit about the beautiful night that we have with us tonight. Not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, high 80s, maybe, you know, it's in the middle of the day, and now it's seeking into the 70s, and it's just a wonderful day. You know, there's a little bit of a breeze, but definitely a great day to come out to the ballpark.
Oh, there is always a breeze here in beautiful downtown San Rafael, but not a terrible one today. We have seen 40-mile-an-hour winds in the past. Not today. Today definitely somewhere between 10 and 15. Just nice, easy breeze. You said it best, Randy. And no, it's a good day for baseball, a beautiful day for baseball, as President and GM of the Pacifics likes to say. And we are ready for the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Dustin Smith leading off for the Stars as he chops this one to short. Danny Gonzalez on the run. Great play by him to get the out at first. Danny Gonzalez showing off the smooth glove and retiring Dustin Smith on 1 pitch.
Sidearm play looking like a pro there. You know, he took it on the run and zigged it over to first base pretty quick.
And Danny Gonzalez, one thing he prides himself on is his fielding. He's out here every single game, hours before game time, with manager Ryan Pretty out there just taking ground ball after ground ball, a couple dozen every day.
Yeah, and repetition. As soon as you get working on that, it's easy to gain experience and gain fielding points, if you will.
So Mitch Levier thinking about doing a drag bunt there, but ends up leaving it off the outside corner as he swings and grounds this one foul down the right side, and the count quickly 0-2 to him. Levier in his last at-bat got one of the 3 Stars hits tonight, but then was stranded at second base after he did steal second. Odom comes to the plate. Excuse me, swing, and a foul ball chopped down the 3rd base side. The count will remain 0-2. Levier was drafted by the Oakland A's in the 9th round of the 2008 draft. Ended up reaching low A with them, but didn't get anywhere further as that breaking ball gets away from Ryan King behind the plate. And a few years later, he finds himself with the Stars. And he's filling in for Matt Hibbert, who last night crashed into the board in center field just below the hitter's eye and bruised his ribs, so they're giving him a night off as he laced this one into center field, but Chase Fontaine, cool, calm, and collected, tracks it down just on the edge of the softball diamond there for the 2nd out of the inning.
Pretty simple catch for him. You know, it was a little bit in front of him and seemed to just chase it down, take a couple steps, and make the grab for the out.
So now Katsuaki Furuki stepping up to the plate. In his last at-bat, Furuki struck out swinging. Odom has had control over him today, and Pacific's pitching has had control over him in the series. 0 for 6 thus far in the series. That's a big deal considering he was hitting over 400 coming into the series. As he weighs and matches to that curveball, not even close to it. This is the first inning so far that the Stars haven't had a runner on base as Faruqi takes that one off the outside corner for a ball. Shadows engulfing almost all of the field. Now just the base at second base is now still it has some sunlight on it as Faruqi takes that ball off the plate. Pacific's defense playing fairly straight up as Faruqi grounds this one over to second. Kendall fielding it on the hop, on the run, throw over to first. Woodard couldn't control it, he bobbled it. So very, would have been a bang play either way. But Faruqi reaches base on an infield hit. I believe they're going to call that up in the scoring booth, so the Stars have another runner on base for the 5th consecutive inning. And now Marshall McDonald stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, this guy looks like he's got some power on him, so getting a runner on first, definitely a good chance for the Stars, but not the best position to be in for the Pacifics, but we'll see how it plays out.
McDonald cementing the heart of the order, has 3 home runs and is hitting around 300 on the year as he takes a healthy cut at that one. But it doesn't seem like McDonald is one to be cheated out of a swing every time he's going to be cutting in the ball. It seems as though he's putting all of his might into it.
Yeah, and I think the Stars coaches have really been focusing on kind of batter, patience and chopping at every ball and battling up there, because that's kind of been the theme for them tonight.
As Faruqi goes, taking is McDonald. The throw from Ryan King.
He's got
him. Benito Santiago style. And Katsuaki Faruqi is gone. Fans react hugely.
Great throw there.
Ryan King gets it done at the bat yesterday and behind the plate today.
Yeah, laser throw from home plate there. I mean, really just nailed him. You could tell from the minute he let that ball go, and the minute it left his hand, that he was going to get him. So.
And it's not something you see here very often now, going from the knees. I was totally flummoxed by that. That was just a beautiful play from Ryan King. Eliminates the moderate threat that the Stars had going in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, one hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We're going to move to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the top of the order for the Pacifics. We'll be right back here on Marin TV.
I couldn't get off the couch for 5 days, but the last 2 days I made a huge improvement. Yeah, so loosened up, so I've been doing physical therapy, pushing as hard as I can, trying to get back this can't stand watching baseball. How you doing, man? Yeah?
Any guessing on that when he runs back?
Leading off the 50th career position, number 14, Bryce Kendall.
And welcome back to Albert Park for the bottom of the 5th inning. Vinny Longo alongside Randy Shapiro bringing you this game 2 between the Pacifics and the Stars. Bryce Kendall leading off for the Pacifics in the bottom of the 5th. On the day, Kendall has reached on an error and then walked in his last at bat.
Yeah, flash and bunt there. It looks like this guy's got some speed for sure.
That pitch bounces at about 55 feet, not even close. Kendall taking it easily. And Kendall definitely what you would call a 5-tool player.
Yeah.
He can hit, he can flash the power. We've seen it in a couple times this year. And he can field, run, and throw. And we've definitely seen him do pretty much everything. We haven't seen him hit for power yet in this game, but we have throughout the year. And he was a huge find by Mike Shapiro over the offseason. As that pitch again bounces around the grass by home plate.
Yeah, it's
not even close there.
It's always great to find a player who's got strengths in every aspect of the game, because it's really versatile. You can find different positions to play him at, and different fields that you need someone to fill, and it's definitely a great thing to have on a baseball team.
So Bryce Kendall has a 3-2 count, a full count. And he's going to call time there. I don't think he was quite ready, but now we're ready to get going. As Kendall grounds this one hard down the third base line. A beautiful backhand stab by Hatcher in the dirt and gets away from McDonald at first. I think that Kendall would have been safe either way. And I do believe the official score will give him a hit on that, as they haven't hit the error button yet. So just the Pacific's 4th hit on the day. Strapoli's been pitching an absolute gem, even though they are ahead 1-0. They haven't been able to get anything, as that is my error, and it will in fact be an error on Hatcher at third base. So the second time that Kendall has reached on an error tonight, but he is on base for Derek Hale.
Yeah, the first baseman visibly upset after that one. It looks like he could have scooped it. Like you said, it probably would have been safe anyways, but I don't think that first baseman could see that from his vantage point.
Kendall fakes going. Hale drags the bunt, but it'll be called foul as that one bounced behind the plate.
I got to tell you, that catcher really does have an arm. Seeing that laser to second base, even though it was foul, you can definitely see the kind of power that he possesses.
I'd be interested to see what his pop-to-pop time is. I
Yeah.
mean, you think a good pop-to-pop time is sub-2. I'd be surprised if that one, if his arm, Krabetsky, is not sub-2.
Yeah.
Because he rifles that ball down very quickly, and that's a huge thing for the Stars to have behind the plate.
Definitely.
So Hale standing in with an 0-1 count against him. Bryce Kendall leads away from first. Hale not bunting this time, takes the fastball up and out of the strike zone. 1-1 the count.
And a lot of times when you see great pitching, it also comes hand in hand with a great catcher. When you see Matt Cain pitching perfect games, and you got to remember that Buster Posey's there behind the plate giving him signs. So
Kendall goes and Hale pops it straight up. Krabetsky is giving chase, and he makes the catch as he leans back towards the infield. A wedge jam from Tyler Krabetsky. The wind definitely caught that one and brought it back closer to the field, and that was a fantastic play to record the first out of the inning.
he's having a game out there.
And Hale can't believe it. He thought he was going to have a second life there, but he is retired on the P2. And Michael Hova now at the plate. Hova on the day, 0-2. He reached on a fielder's choice last time. Kendall going. Hova drives this one into deep left center field. Levier is tracking it on the warning track. He will retire Hova. Kendall caught off first base. The ball is still loose on the infield. A little bit of sloppy play there from the Stars on the relay, but Kendall, who was stealing, had to go all the way back to first base. And now Johnny Woodard will come up to the plate. So Michael Hova's struggles continue, as he still can't seem to find the power. He did last night, but that's the 7th time by my count this year that a ball has been right on the warning track for him, just not over the wall. As Woodard pops this one up, Krabetsky's chasing it, and he makes the second out of the inning. It's Tyler Krabetsky doing some work behind the plate, retiring Johnny Woodard and Derek Hale. So the early error by Hatcher is doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's calling the game behind the plate. He's fielding. I wouldn't be surprised if he got up there on the mound next. He's really doing it all.
Well, no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 man stranded for the Pacifics in the bottom of the 5th. Move to the top of the 6th inning here on Marin Television. Pacifics leading the Hawaii Stars 1-0. Jay Wetzel, JJ, hopefully will be back by Sunday. That's what the front office is hoping, as he definitely helps out the bullpen as Marshall McDonald swings and misses at that one. A huge breaking ball and a huge swing and a miss from McDonald.
Yeah, he really caught air on that one. It was there. He could have got it, but you miss balls occasionally.
And that cutter nips the outside corner from Odom. A good pitch from him. 0-2 now the count. McDonald did get to bat in the top of the 5th inning, but as Faruqi was caught at second, he will bat again as that fastball runs inside, probably a 2-seam with tailing action from Odom. McDonald takes it, and it's 1-2. So Odom is ready. He comes to the plate. Breaking ball, strike 3 called on the inside corner.
Yeah, he is not happy with that call. It looks like the right call to make. It was in there, but He's not happy with the umpire or himself, but clearly frustrated on the play.
Well, that front door breaking ball is Odom's bread and butter. He loves pitching that, and it worked out very well for him that right there, and his 7th strikeout on the day. So Odom winds and deals. First pitch swinging, Brendan Davis lines one into center field for a base hit. The Stars' 6th hit on the game and the 6th consecutive inning where they've had a base runner aboard. And so with one away, Tyler Krobetsky will come up. He did so much defensively last inning. Let's see if he follows that up with a good at-bat here.
Yeah.
Krobetsky has walked twice today, showing the patience. Last time, he took about 11 pitches from Logan Odom before he finally reached first base.
Yeah, the pitcher keeps checking the man on first. It'd be interesting to see if he goes for second base or not.
Odom with a quick step comes to the plate. A swing and a miss from Krobetsky there. Probably thrown off by Odom's timing there. Credit to Odom. That was a well done slide step. It's not something you see that often, especially from a side armor.
Definitely.
Davis, not much of a stolen bases throw, but Odom has him in his head as he walks off the plate, and kind of big swing from Krobetsky there. 0-2, he's in a quick hole. Top of the 6th inning, 1 away. Brendan Davis on first base. Tyler Krobetsky at the plate. Odom probably looking to strike him out or at least getting out in some way, and Davis looking to work himself back into the count as he did last time. A swing and a grounder to first. Woodard fields it over to short for 1. The relay to first. Got him as Odom kind of picked the back foot up and then got it back on the base just in time, says the fielding umpire either way. Krobetsky doesn't like the call. He was chatting to the umpire, but the final call will stand. So both teams getting a little bit of calls in their favor tonight as the side is out with the 3-6-1, excuse me, double play.
Yeah, the first base coach there was trying to play a little umpire, calling him safe himself, but luckily he's not the one wearing black and he's not the one giving the calls.
Well, the Pacifics maybe catch a break there, and no damage done. This game's still a tight one, 1-0. As Kyle Donani will be leading off in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be right back on Marin TV. And welcome back to Albert Park for the bottom of the 6th inning. Kyle Donani leading off for the Pacifics in this inning. Last time up, Donani doubled sharply into right field off of the Coca-Cola sign by the Hertz locker. And then he later scored on the Danny Gonzalez single. It's just one of the few mistakes that Matt Strapoli has made tonight. That and really the double to Steve Detweiler. Other than that, he's been very sharp. Donani swings and grounds one. This one to the right side. Smith gloves it easily and throws on to first in plenty of time to get Donani. So the first out recorded on just 2 pitches. And Danny Gonzalez stepping up.
Danny Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled home Donani in his last at-bat, and in the first inning flew out to right field. A first pitch strike on the outside corner from Strapoli puts Gonzalez in an 0-1 hole. Gonzalez, one of the quietest guys you will ever meet. He was undrafted, has played a couple years of independent ball, but he's a very, very quiet, very kind individual as well. And he has he doesn't have a lot to say, let's put it that way. When he says something, you just definitely listen, as it's usually worthwhile listening to, because he comes in, he says something about baseball, he says something about life, and sometimes it's deep and sometimes it's not. Either way, it's funny or it's something. He's a pleasure to listen to. One of those guys, he just brightens up the environment in the clubhouse. Is that pitch in the dirt?
Yeah, I mean, all these Pacifics players, they look really close. I mean, we were here before kind of setting up for the broadcast, and it's great to see, they're joking around with the ball boy or joking around with each other, and it's good to see that kind of lighthearted atmosphere. And, of course, when game time comes around, you see them snap into game mode, but it's great to see that they're all as close as you might think that they are.
Well, Strapoli has come back after an 0-2 count and throwing 3 straight balls in the dirt. I think he's overthrowing a little bit trying to get Danny Gonzalez out. By the way, it's a full count, and Gonzalez swings and grounds this one to short. Brown, a little bit of a trick hop. He's able to glove it in the dirt. This one also gets away from McDonald, but Gonzalez is going to hold it first. credit Smith with the hustle play to get over there and recover the ball. So another error. A third one on the night for the Stars puts Danny Gonzalez aboard with Chase Fontaine coming to the plate.
First baseman not having a great night tonight, but I'm sure he's hoping it'll turn around soon.
Fontaine comes out to the Frank Sinatra song, Fly Me to the Moon. Definitely an interesting choice. Usually you hear Danny Gonzalez has kind of a heavy metalish song. A lot of players do rap or hard rock, but Fontaine said, no, I want some Sinatra. And he didn't really give a reason behind it. I said, Chase, why do you want to do that? I dealt with the walk-up songs. I said, why do you want to do that? And he just said, I like Sinatra.
Yeah. Maybe he's giving a little wish to the ball there, Wants it to go up to the sky.
Well, Fontaine, a second-round draft pick of the Atlanta Braves in the 2005 draft, reached high A ball in the Atlanta and Tampa Bay Rays organizations. Definitely was a prospect in the majors before he was falling off from glory. And Danny Gonzalez
like we got a pickle here.
Is caught in a pickle. He was going on that pass ball the second time he's done that, and now he's just caught in between first and second. And he's tagged out by Dustin Smith as he slid about 15 feet away from the bag. So the second straight inning, or second straight time that Danny Gonzalez makes a base running mistake, eliminates the Pacific's threat and puts two away. Fontaine still at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, that ball in the dirt definitely got him off the bag, and once he was, in between first and second, it's hard to come back from that when the catcher's looking at you and the arm that the catcher has, too. It's hard to, I guess, pick which way you're going to run. But when you got a gunner behind the plate like the Stars do, it's tough to really take a bag. So as soon as he was halfway, it's almost over.
Yeah, Krobetsky and Gonzalez had something of a stare down there as Gonzalez was like, where are you going to go? And Krobetsky said, I'm going wherever you're going. And after about 5 seconds, they did end up going to second. So Fontaine with a 1-2 count against him. He grounds it to the right side. Smith fields it as it goes into his chest and on to first to retire the side. So the Pacifics reach base on an error, but for the third time make nothing of it. No runs on no hits, just that error, and no men stranded. We're going to go to the top of the 7th inning. Still the Pacifics are leading the Stars 1-0. You're watching this game on Marin TV, and as Randy here can definitely tell you, this is a production largely done by students.
Yeah, I mean, the first couple games, we had a lot of help from advisors or people with authority, I guess, and who have learned how to kind of do the stuff that we're learning to do. But now they kind of handed over the keys in some ways. They're letting us do a lot more with kind of what goes on the air and how things are worked out. We've learned how to set up. We've learned how to put things on the air. We're learning how to shoot camera shots. And at this point, I think this game is pretty much the first game that we're doing live that the students pretty much have complete control of. And this is the first time that I've done this kind of commentating, and we're kind of getting more and more grasp of what to do every day. So it's definitely largely run by the students now, but we couldn't have done it without some help.
Well, it's just a great community here in Santa Fe, and that reflects in the Marin television program. I mean, there's not a lot of places where you're going to be able to get college and high school kids doing a professional baseball game.
Yeah.
I don't care at what level, minor league, major league, independent ball. It's a great opportunity, and I'm very glad that you guys definitely have the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, and I'm getting to know some of the kids through the program too. It's a great experience to get to know some local college students that I wouldn't have probably met otherwise as a high school student. So it's good building relationships, learning the real business, gaining some skills that are definitely marketable as you grow older. So I'm loving it, loving every minute of it.
So how much more control do you think they're going to give you? Are they going to give you guys complete reins by game 5?
I think that sounds probably realistic. Right now, they're kind of watching over, making sure that no mistakes are made, of course. But I think game 5 is definitely a goal. But yeah, so far I think we've had partial control all the way through, and we're getting more and more. And we just want to make sure as students too that when we're doing this, we want it to be the same kind of professional, look to the game. People have told us, oh wow, that game actually looks like it was on ESPN or something. So, we want to definitely maintain that. At the same time, as a student, we'd love to have more control, but we're definitely on our way to getting that done for sure.
Well, we are in the top of the 7th inning. Anthony Williams leading off. As he grounds this one off of his leg, foul. That one looked kind of painful.
Ouch.
That one won the count.
It's always interesting to me, you know, guys foul balls off of their own body and seem to not be fazed by it. They seem to just go on, you know, next pitch. And if I was up there, you know, I'd be screaming on the ground. It would look like soccer out there, but.
Now there's a certain toughness that goes with baseball as Williams grounds that one to Kendall. Kendall has to hurry it up a little bit as he was taking his time, but does get it over to Woodard in time to get the out. So Williams retired on 2 pitches. One away, and Caleb Hatcher coming to the plate.
I guess you know what they say, there's no crying in baseball.
Well, Tom Hanks says that anyway. So Caleb Hatcher, 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out in his last at-bat, and he fouls that one off of the plate and then down the first base line. Logan Odom threw 6 1/3 innings of work. Just 5 hits allowed, no runs, and 7 strikeouts. Just dominant from the Pacific's variety tonight. Also, obviously, no runs as the Pacifics are leading 1-0. That pitch, a breaking ball, nips the outside corner. Solid pitch from Odom. 0-2 now the count. Swing and a miss for foul tip, but Ryan King hangs on to it. Strike 3, Odom's 8th strikeout of the day, and he has matched his total from last time he pitched. 2 away in the top of the 7th. And Felix Brown stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just turning into a beautiful night. The sun's beginning to set. You see the American flag out there blowing in center field, and makes you realize how lucky you are to be in a place like this.
It is an absolutely beautiful sunset tonight. It's almost like there's a rainbow over the left center field wall.
Right.
Pretty much the entire color spectrum is up there. It's just the kind of sunset you don't get anywhere else. And believe me, I have personal experience with that. I go to college in New York, and they're just not the same there.
Yeah.
You know, and seeing the sun set over the ocean has been a welcome sight to me, believe me.
Right.
So that pitch not even close from Odom. Probably trying to get Brown to chase at the high fastball, but it was about 4 feet over his head, I'd say. So the count now 1-2. Brown fouls this one, just staying alive. You've seen that a lot from Hawaii hitters. You mentioned it a couple times, Randy, where they're just fighting to stay alive, doing their best, because Odom has gotten them in 2 strike counts of a good majority of the time, and they're really just fighting, trying to stay alive for that one pitch or that walk that they can get on base.
Yeah, I mean, you can see them, you know, they're visibly choking up, they're battling, you know, and after a while it seems like it's, you know, it's wearing on the pitcher a bit, but he's definitely maintained composure, and he's throwing strikes for sure.
As this one is nubbed off the hand of the bat, Gonzalez with the bare hand over to first, not in time. Danny Gonzalez with a spectacular play, but the speedy Brown able to beat it out and set it up for the top of the order. Dustin Smith now batting. And Dustin Smith, the son of legendary Cardinal shortstop Ozzie Smith. He hasn't been drafted, and Smith has basically played independent ball his entire career. Amassed a .287 average, very similar to his father's actual major league average, interestingly enough, as he squares to bunt that one and pulls the bat back. But Smith, a nice guy, you know, got the chance to talk to him. He's very soft-spoken, just says, I'm here to play baseball.
Yeah.
Odom is ready. He's behind a Smith 1-0, and he comes to the plate. Brown fakes it going. Smith grounds this one down to third. Donati on the forehand, on to first, and plenty of time to get the out. So Smith didn't miss that one by much, but it was enough where Kyle Donati was able to glove it and get Logan Odom his 7th inning of work. Nobody was up in the Pacific's bullpen, so it looks like Odom will continue to go out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man stranded. We'll go to the bottom, of the 7th inning, with the Pacific still leading this one 1-0, looking to do some more damage. You're watching this game on Marin Television.
I did tell you where this came from, didn't I? Yes. 7-inning stretch. Which are Wilson? Howard Taft.
Randy, I think we're switching.
Okay. Who's up? You're up? Okay.
I'm here.
Cool, cool.
Fun, isn't it?
All right. Yeah, definitely. Good to meet you. What's your name again?
Vinny.
Vinny. Okay, good to meet you.
I want to do this 4th of July.
Head over to the Silver Peso after the game for their last call. Alcohol service will cease at the conclusion of this 7th inning. This is the Silver Peso last call. Leading off for your Pacifics, number 18, Kevin Reinking.
Emma, what did you win?
Wipeout Bar and Grill, $20.
Nice.
Back in the bottom of the 7th inning, Kevin Reinking leading off, and he grounds this one down the third base line and past Hatcher. This one should go for extra bases. Reinking is rounding first, and he's going to turn on the gas and head for second. The throw in from second, Reinking slides. He is safe. Reinking able to get in there with a double to lead off the inning. The 3rd time that the Pacifics have been able to do that in this game. And with nobody out, Steve Detweiler has the chance to open this lead up just a little bit.
This is where the pressure factor comes in. Late innings, man on second, no outs to start an inning. This is where you got to wonder what is going through the mind of the batter and what's going through the mind of the pitcher.
So Detweiler has doubled in this game as he thinks about that high fastball, but is able to leave it up there. That's just a 4th hit by a Pacific's batter today, yet they do lead this game 1-0. It's an absolute pitcher's duel between Strapoli and Odom, as they have both been just fantastic.
And the Stars have more hits than the Pacifics do, but we also we've only given up 1 error and they've given up 3, right? So it's pretty much even. You could sort of even.
Well, Steve Detweiler stands there with a 1-1 count. He does have power behind his swing, and he does like to hit home runs. As that curveball is checked at, and Detweiler did not offer it, it says, as the field umpire, and that one was definitely close, but he's worked himself a 2-1 count. Strapoli set at the chest, comes to the plate. Detweiler swings and drives this one into left field. Faruqi is moving back on it. He will make the catch about 10 feet shy of the wall. So Detweiler just getting that one off of the end of the bat, missing his 2nd home run of the season, but not by much.
Yeah, I thought that one was gone, especially with the sound of it. It's one of those distinct sounds, you know, when the ball hits the wood bat, it makes that snapping noise. You know, it's one of those things that it's hard to tell just by the sound.
Well, I think if Detweiler had been able to extend his arms just a little bit more on that, the ball probably would have been about 380 feet instead of the 340 that it went.
Yeah.
But Bryce Kendall now at the plate. No hits for Kendall on the day. He's reached twice because of errors by Brown and Hatcher, respectively, in the 1st and 5th innings, respectively. He comes up for the 4th time now with a chance to put the Pacifics up 2-0. That ball from Strapoli also below the strike zone. 2-0 the count to Kendall. He has himself in a fantastic fastball count. And Kendall loves to hit fastballs. When he sees fastballs on the inside part of the plate, they tend to go over the fence. So we'll see what he does here.
He looks like he's just waiting for his pitch, you know, just relaxing and just waiting for it. And when it comes to him, we'll know.
He did leave the changeup off the outside part of the plate. 3-0 he will probably be taking here. As taking all the way, it's a strike on the outside corner. Strapoli just kind of trying to pour it in there.
Yeah, Strapoli hammered that one in there. That was a good pitch. I wonder if he's getting tired because it's almost the end of the 7th inning.
As he comes to the plate, Kendall swings and drives this one up the middle for a base hit. Reinking is rounding 3rd. He is being sent home. The throw in from center is not cut off. Reinking is safe as the ball gets away. Kendall is caught off second now. The throw over to second. He is safe. The ball gets away again, but Kendall will remain on second. So Kevin Reinking scoring on the single by Bryce Kendall, and Bryce Kendall advancing on the throw, and the Pacifics lead 2-0.
That was a nice hit. That one was just that pitch was just waiting there for him. He just was. It was just, and he just had to just follow through with the arms, you know, and it just went whap right into center field. The second baseman could have caught it, but it was one of those plays that I think it was just hit a little too fast and a little too hard, you know.
Well, Strapoli's going to get himself a mound visit, and it's probably just to buy time for Tony York, who is warming up in the bullpen. York is a middle relief type pitcher who comes in situations like this where he is a strong pitcher. And when it's a 2-0 game, this is a situation where they need to keep it close, and Strapoli will stay in. But York is warming up very quickly down the third base line.
So, Vinny, what do you think the pitching coach was saying to him?
Well, calm down. You're moving towards the heart of the order. The 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up right now, and they're all due in this game. And really, you've been pitching a fantastic game. Just keep the ball down and away from them.
Yeah.
These are, if you've done your scouting reports, these 3 hitters are not the strongest hitters when it comes to the low and away pitch. Michael Hova definitely can take the ball the other way, but Hale has something of a hole of his swing. They're not too big, but it is there. And then Woodard, definitely a pull hitter. So Derek Hale standing in. Price Kendall away from second. Hale moves away from that pitch. It was inside, and he had to dance out of the way of that. 1-0 the count.
Those are what I call the dancing legs because they just went whoop.
Defense played fairly straight away as Strapoli checks Kendall. He's not going. Hale swings and grounds this one foul to the right side. Count now 1-1 to him. Hale on the day 0 for 3. He popped out to Krobetsky his last time up. That is Hawaii's catcher. It was actually a fantastic play as Krobetsky was leaning back towards the infield because the wind caught the ball and blew it back towards home plate. And it was a web gem by many accounts, as that is not an easy play to make. As the breaker stays off the outside corner, and Hale will leave it there. 2-1 now. He's worked himself into a count.
Catcher, I think, is one of the hardest positions to play because you have to be aware of everything, just like the pitcher, you know? You have to be always aware.
Strapoli comes to the plate, a breaking ball just off the outside corner. Derek Hale really playing it close there, as that one was very close to the strike zone, but he's worked himself a 3-1 count, a definite fastball count. We'll see if Strapoli decides to work backwards, whether to come in with the fastball. It's a changeup. Hale grounds it over to the first base side. McDonald has trouble handling it. He tosses it over to Strapoli, who's covering to retire Hale. But on the plate, Kendall moves to third for Michael Hova. So we'll see what Hova can do. If he can bring Hale in, this has been a situation that they're familiar with. It happened in the first inning. And Hova, it was when Hova actually moved Hale over to third base. But hopefully for the Pacifics, he will be able to move Hale in now.
Looks like it's a mound visit.
And Strapoli's night will be done. Still a very strong pitching performance from Strapoli tonight. 6 2/3 innings pitched with just 2 runs, 5 hits, and 4 strikeouts, excuse me. Strapoli was able to keep the Pacific's hitters at bay for a good majority of the time. Just a few solid contacts. Those are from Steve Detweiler, Kyle Donani, and Kevin Reinking. So we will have Tony York coming into pitch. York on the season has, as I said, been a relief pitcher for the most part. A 1.5, yes, ERA. He's been absolutely filthy out of the bullpen, just allowing a couple of runs. And definitely someone that the Stars want right now to keep this game close.
Yeah, especially with close games like this in the later innings, this is when one small fluke could change it. You know, like any give or take. You know, it's very fine. It's very delicate. It's like you said earlier, Vinny. It's a matter of inches. It's you push forward towards the finish line and you're trying to conquer more ground.
Well, York has just been absolutely filthy for the Stars thus far on the year. York has pitched 6 innings and he has 11 strikeouts. These are Craig Kimbrell types of statistics. And Kimbrell, of course, the Braves closer who was in Cy Young contention the last couple of years for his strikeout ratio. He gets about 2 batters an inning. And Tony York looks to have about that kind of stuff, an electric fastball, and it looks to have a little bit of movement, cutting away from the right-handed hitters and probably moving in as well.
Yeah, watching it here when he's warming up, I can see it moving, and it's one of those ones that I'm like, and I don't play in a league because I can say I'm not that good, but I will go to the batting cages a couple times, maybe twice a week, and I will tell you, I would swing every time he pitches that fastball that just cuts away. I can tell you I would swing every time and miss it almost every time. I'm that bad.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of players at the independent level are doing that as well. As Michael Hova takes the first pitch ball, but Hova, a fastball hitter, for sure. So it looks to be fastball versus fastball here, and we'll see what Hova does with it. He has the chance to put the Pacifics up 3-0, but he needs a hit. With 2 outs, a sacrifice fly is not an option as he pops this one straight up.
Straight up the chute, sometimes they call it. Oh,
Hatcher is trying to play it, and he drops it down the third base line. A little bit of confusion as the home plate umpire is calling that fair. It looked like Hatcher was in foul territory, which should mean that the ball is foul. But the Pacifics catch a break on Hatcher's second error of the game. Kendall scores, and now the Pacifics lead 3-0. So not the kind of at-bat that Hova was hoping for, definitely, but he does end up getting the run in, be it an error by Sanchez.
And that makes his on-base percentage go up a bit more. You know, he got on base, so it all comes down to helping the stats, really. If you can help your team win, or if you can just help your team in general, it's good.
So now Johnny Woodard stepping up to the plate. He takes a fastball at the letters for a strike. Woodard not particularly happy with that call.
But he looks pretty relaxed up there, waiting for his pitch, you know?
York checks Hova, who's not a stolen bases threat at first. He delivers that ball in the dirt, well blocked by Krobetsky behind the plate. 1-1 now the count to Woodard. It has been a while since Woodard flashed the power, but he does have 4 home runs on the year, and Santa Fe wouldn't be minding it here. Woodard also a fastball hitter. He can easily take those inside fastballs over the scoreboard in right center field, so we will see what he does here.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you just got to be careful of their sweet spot.
As Woodard grounds this one past the diving Smith into right field for a base hit. So with 2 away here, the Pacifics have runners in first and second for Kyle Donani, who's already doubled today and now has a chance with Hova in scoring position to bust this game wide open.
Yeah, this pitcher's fastball, I can see it. I think he's lost a little of his composure because earlier he was throwing it and it was zipping, but now it's kind of slowing down more when it's getting towards the plate. I can see it, and it is still a nasty pitch. I would not want to face that.
So Donani standing in with runners on first and second as he takes the first pitch fastball high and a little bit off the plate. 1-0 the count.
You can just tell how hard he's throwing by if you can hear the snap of the catcher's glove. You know, the leather just snapping shut. It's crazy is what it is.
York is set at the belt. He delivers to Donani. Donani swings and drives this one into center field. Levier is moving back on it. He is at the wall and makes the catch. Kyle Donani, maybe if he hit that 3 innings ago, would have himself a home run. But unfortunately this time he comes up short, but not before the Pacifics do some damage. They get 1 run, not earned, on 2 hits, 1 error. We are ready here for the top of the 8th inning. Logan Odom going out to do his 8th inning of work so far for Odom. 7 innings pitched. I mean, obviously coming out in the 8th, but 7 strikeouts for the tall righty on the day, and he's going deep into this game.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the stamina and the composure is a key factor, especially when you get to this portion of the game, because this is also where the pressure comes in with the hits, with the strikeouts, with every pitch is where it starts to get more and more of, like you said earlier, a matter of inches because of the intensity of the plays. So everything has to be very, very precise.
And Logan Odom definitely helping out the bullpen as J.J. Wetzel is out until Sunday, so he's been their setup man. So Odom going to try and give the bullpen a little bit of rest. On that note, though, Nate King is warming up, the tall, strong, left-handed reliever that the Pacific sometimes use in the 8th inning or 9th inning. As Leviard flies this one into deep right center field. Hova tracking it down by the warning track and will make the catch. So Leviard gives it a ride, but just like Donani, had he hit it when it was a little bit warmer outside, might have gotten a bit more carry. But it is just a long out.
Yeah, I saw the wind kind of push that. At first, I thought it was going to go out, but then I saw the wind, push it down a bit more, and it was. I think you're right. If it had been a little bit earlier, a little bit warmer, it probably would have been pushed out. It's that slight breeze now at this time of night.
Katsuwaki Furuki now at the plate. And this is the second game of this 6-game series. The Pacifics won last night's game by a tally of 7-1, a very impressive win, especially considering that the Stars had won 7 straight games going into that at 9 of 10. And now in the top of the 8th inning, the Stars are just 5 outs away from losing their 2nd straight and finding themselves on the brink of a skid.
Do you know where the standings for the division right now?
Yes, the Pacifics are in first place. Hawaii is in 3rd. They're 5.5 games back coming into this game. Maui in 2nd place, a half game back, but they did lose last night to Vallejo. So another interleague game that is happening tonight. We will have the total on that shortly as Odom misses badly with that slider, and the count now 3-1 to Furuki. Not a good place to be, as Furuki is a very dangerous hitter.
Yeah, he looks like he has the focus. Like you said, he's a veteran that he has the focus.
As Furuki takes a strike there, and he thought it was a walk. He had dropped the bat and was already part of the way to first base.
Those are the tough calls, that everybody gets frustrated.
So Odom has himself a 3-2 count against Katsuwaki Furuki. He winds and comes to the plate, swinging a line shot down the left field line, but fouling out of play and actually off the netting, protecting the cars on Anderson Street. And that's a very dangerous area back there. In fact, Pacific staff, we had to put up some warning signs there to tell people don't park here, and probably if you're walking, pay attention because sometimes balls like that come flying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watch out, my car. Well, I mean my parents' car, so.
So Odom misses with a breaking ball down below the zone, so Furuki has himself a walk. So for the 8th consecutive inning and every inning this game, Hawaii has a base runner, but obviously they have yet to plate them as the Pacifics are leading 3-0. King, still warming up, but taking his time in the Pacific's bullpen, and no action for the Stars. So it looks like York is going to be their man for now.
Yeah, I think with no runs across right now, they're just letting him warm up and just at his own pace, really.
Elsewhere in the Pacific Association, the Maui Nakoa Ikaika are leading the Vallejo Admirals 6-2 in the top of the 5th, excuse me. As Maui has just been doing fantastically in that game. They did lose yesterday, and they're coming back and looking like they're going to win this one today. That one is in Vallejo. The Admirals have they're a tough luck team. They are in the bottom of the Pacific Association. They're a new team. And they do have a lot of talent, but they just haven't formulated the team yet. So they are a work in progress, but hopefully for them, they will be doing better soon. Strike 3 call, the breaking ball on the outside corner. Logan Odom comes back after the walk and throws 3 straight strikes to Marshall McDonald to put him away. His 9th K on the day. And Brandon Davis stepping to the plate with 2 outs.
This is a good performance from our starter tonight, you know? He's with 9 strikeouts already and through the 8th. That's pretty good. Gotta wonder if he can keep it up for next inning as well.
As Odom, his control does seem to be slipping a little bit as he missed with that pitch.
Yeah, I see that his pitches are starting to go down a bit more and everything. I think he's getting tired, you know, but who wouldn't be after a performance that he's had?
Odom delivers a changeup off the outside corner. He's fallen behind Davis 2-0. Davis, a dangerous hitter, and definitely not a good position for Odom to be in. Davis has homered already this year, and although with the wind, he'd have to hit it to left center field and have a good shot on it to get any mustard on it. Faruqi fakes it going, and then Davis takes a curveball in the dirt. So 3-0. As Odom has fallen behind and is in danger of walking another hitter.
There's the walk.
And there is ball 4 as Odom does throw the ball inside. So 2 away and 2 on for Tyler Kropetsky, who got into an inning-ending double play in his last at-bat.
We want to remind you that Golden Gate Transit is the #1 way to get to a Pacifics game, and Albert Park is an easy walk from the Transit Center. Call 511 or visit goldengate.org for more information.
And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change. Nate King is ready in the bullpen, and manager Ryan Pretty coming out to talk to Odom, probably to take the ball, though. But you definitely have to say Odom's stats on the day, nothing short of fantastic. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, a couple of walks, and 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's a very good start. Getting a standing ovation here from a lot of the crowd, and I think that he shouldn't be too upset with himself. I know he was probably wanting to try to get the shutout, but he still pitched a beauty of a game. You know, 7 2/3, 9 strikeouts, he said?
Yeah, 9 strikeouts. He was dealing tonight. He averages around 6 or 7 a game. He came into this game with 31 strikeouts. That was good for 3rd best.
So 40 strikeouts on the year through how many starts?
5 starts.
5 starts? That's not that bad.
It's not bad at all, as he has just been on fire. The only time he had trouble was in the Arizona trip, when every pitcher basically was having trouble. So Nate King coming in to pitch. He's the powerful left-hander who's out of University of South Carolina. And, well, Nate's one of the silliest guys. It's an interesting word to use, but he's an absolute life in the clubhouse. He's a team clown. He never says anything serious, really. The other day, he was helping me during some stadium ops stuff with the garbage. We had a garbage situation. We had to dump some in a dumpster off of the premises, on the premises, but in center field. And Nate was just making it all the more fun, because dealing with garbage, never a fun thing to do, but
Yeah.
he somehow made it enjoyable.
Yeah, I have garbage duty tonight when I get home, so Pacifics, if you can drag this game out a bit more, please, I would thank you.
King on the year, 4 2/3 innings pitched. He does have a 7.71 ERA, but that is not at all indicative of his talent. That most of those runs came in Arizona when, as I said, it was a tough time for all the Pacific's pitchers. It was about 121 degrees during all of those games. And the field that they were playing in for most of the time had a center field depth of about 340 feet. So right around where Chase Fontaine is standing right now was the home run fence, which is not very deep at all, especially for grown men that are this is a AA equivalent level league, and that is not at all an out of reach area, 340 feet in the center field. So there were a lot of home runs hit there, and Nate King unfortunately fell victim.
And watching King's warm-up pitches, he throws really hard, like there, just there.
King does rifle it in there, and he gets that one over the plate for a strike. He is leaving it up a little bit, though, and you don't want to leave it up for Kropetsky here.
Yeah, well, that was definitely that was a bullet.
As King comes back with pretty much exactly the same pitch, and it's almost the same result. 0-2 now. As a strikeout for King would be huge. It would get the Pacifics out of this jam. We will call it a jam, but there are 2 outs. So it's not a huge jam, but it would be nice for them. As a Pacifics fan, it would be nice to see them get out of this situation.
With 2 on, 2 out, yeah, so.
As King rifles that fastball way high, probably trying to get Krobetsky to chase, but it didn't happen.
And you just listen to the snap of the catcher's glove, you know, it just goes to show how hard these semi-professional players are throwing, and it's amazing, you know.
In fact, the Pacifics are a professional league. This is their full-time job. The players are this is a professional team, and the entire Pacifics Association is a professional league, and it's a common misconception, and it's a good thing to get out there. But yeah, a lot of Pacifics pitchers, they were recruited in the bullpen specifically to throw hard. As Krobetsky swings and misses at that curveball, King set him up beautifully and comes back with the old Uncle Charlie to put him away. So no runs on no hits and no errors in the top of the 8th inning. We're going to move to the bottom of the 8th. Pacifics still leading 3-0. You are watching Pacifics Baseball on Marin Television. We'll be right back.
My name is Daniel Williams. I go to the University of Puget Sound, and I want to work in the baseball industry.
Zach Busson, Dominican University, and I want to be a garment manufacturer.
The name's Vela, Sam Vela. I'm a junior at Dominican University of California. When I graduate, I plan on trying out for professional soccer teams in Europe.
My name is Graham Hooper. I go to the San Francisco Flex Academy, and I want to be a baseball broadcaster.
Janet McCarroll. I go to Dominican University, and I am interested in pursuing media arts.
My name is Spencer Clark. I go to the University of Arizona, and I want to be a composer.
Nadia Green, Dominican University of California, and I'd like to go into PR and marketing.
Hi, my name is Rennie Shapiro. I go to Tam High School, and I'd love to be an ESPN anchor when I'm older.
And welcome back to Albert Park. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Danny Gonzalez, Chase Fontaine and Kevin Reinking coming up for the Pacifics in this inning. They already have a 3-0 lead, and at this point they are just looking to expand that lead, maintain it for sure, and get ready for Colin Allen, the bearded one, coming in. He is warming up in the Pacifics bullpen in the 9th.
For the closer, right? Yeah.
Colin Allen is the Pacific's closer. It will be a save situation for him. He came in last night and pitched a scoreless 9th inning, but it wasn't a save as they did have a 6-run lead, in that inning.
But when they just come in, they just say to get a little work in, you know, keep the arm fresh, you know, so it either doesn't go off or, you know, overwork him.
So Gonzalez standing in, already 0-1 to him. He singled earlier and actually drove in the Pacific's first run of the game. As that pitch in there for a strike. York not messing around, coming in straight with the fastballs and definitely not playing. He set Gonzalez up with 2 fastballs, and we'll see what he does here. Could be off speed as he comes to the plate. A breaking ball, Gonzalez able to get a hand on it, and Hatcher bobbles it at third base. Another error by Caleb Hatcher at third allows Danny Gonzalez to reach.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I thought the third baseman had it there first. You know, and now the Frank Sinatra walk-up tune playing, you know. You never really hear that.
Chase Fontaine enjoys Sinatra. The whole team actually does. Sinatra does play in the clubhouse quite often, but there actually is a regulation against playing music at Albert Park after 9 p.m., so none of the walk-up, none of the walk-in songs for pitchers are used after 9 p.m. So the PA announcer here likes to, you know, keep it interesting and every once in a while sing it. He'll sing Hit the Road Jack if a pitcher gets chased late in the game.
That's a personal favorite of mine. I'm a big Ray Charles fan.
It's a little bit of a little harsh, but as Fontaine grounds this one to third through the legs of Hatcher and into left field, Gonzalez is rounding second. He will put on the brakes there as actually Faruqi mishandled it there. Gonzalez probably could have made it to third, but Ryan Pretty deciding to play it safe, as was Gonzalez. And I do believe that will be credited as a hit to Fontaine as he roped that one down the left field line. So now Kevin Reinking stepping up with nobody away and 2 outs, or excuse me, nobody away and 2 runners on. And he has a chance to really help the Pacifics put this game out of reach.
And you said he had 2 RBIs last night, right?
He did have 2 RBIs in his first at-bat as a Pacific. Ended up being the winning runs for San Rafael.
So, really, like tonight, if he gets a single, just watch the guy on second run could get his 3rd RBI. You know.
York looks back at Gonzalez and then lets him stay there, as Gonzalez had a fairly decently sized lead off of second base.
But that last hit was just roped in.
Ryan King swinging hard at that fastball and not missing it by much, but just does miss it. 0-1 the count to him. Ryan King never has had a lot of power in his career, never has been much of a hitter. He's always been a defensive catcher, and a very solid one at that, but his approach is very simple. He told me that he just likes to stay in and just try and get stuff up the middle. If you do that, he says, you'll get runs more often than not, or at least hits. And with runners in scoring position, you will get runs. As Ryan King swung over the top of that curveball and missed it badly. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, he's doing good tonight. I was watching him. Catching behind the plate, and it looks like he and the pitchers have good, relationship. They know what they want to do, and if they don't want to do it, they won't.
And that's impressive considering he came to the team yesterday.
Oh.
But Ryan King already has doubled and scored tonight. So he has had a very solid game. You are right about that, Graham. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pacifics with 2 runners on, nobody out. Kevin Ryan King at the plate. Vinny Longo alongside Graham Hooper, bringing you this game 2 of the 6-game series between the San Rafael Pacifics and the Hawaii Stars. Pacifics looking to solidify their lead in first place of the Pacific Association. Right now, the Maui Naikoa Ikea and the Vallejo Admirals are in the top of the 6th inning, with the Naikoa Ikea leading 7-2 as Ryan King swings at the high fastball and misses, so he has a chance to do some damage but doesn't do it, and ends up grabbing a little bit of the bench. So now Steve Detweiler stepping out to the plate with 1 out. And Detweiler, a pure fastball hitter.
Yeah.
He really enjoys the hard stuff, and when he can get his arms extended, he'll be looking to drive that ball into the left center field gap. That's where he loves to hit it. That's his happy spot.
Yeah. He looks like if he gets his happy spot, he looks like one of those people who will totally just rip it, and he'll be like, if it's fair, then it's fair. If it's not, whatever, I'll take it.
Detweiler never taking a cheap swing, always in on the ball. As York and Krobetsky having a little bit of a behind the plate. That's my language for a little bit of a disagreement.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, what was that?
York comes set, looks back Gonzalez at second. He's going to step off as Gonzalez was dancing around and making York think about it a bit. Gonzalez reached on the error by Hatcher, and then Fontaine singles sharply down the left field line to put the Pacifics in the situation where they are right now. And Steve Detweiler, the hometown hero, has a chance to really, really put the Pacifics ahead here. As he swings and grounds this one sharply to short. Brown can't touch it. He throws on to first. Detweiler is there. The ball gets behind McDonald. Gonzalez will come around to score. Fontaine is rounding third. He will be held up as the Pacifics advance 1 base on the error by Brown. The 6th error on the game by Hawaii, and that has really come back to bite them.
Yeah.
As the Pacifics now lead 4-0.
And the first error occurred in the first inning, didn't it? It's one of those things that you're like, they got to be thinking, can we catch a break tonight?
It doesn't appear to be that way, Graham. Breaks have been in a short supply for the Stars tonight. Bryce Kendall not stepping in is.
But then again, the Pacifics, they are a good team. They're good hitters. They're good defenders, and so are the Stars. They're just having a bad night. Like, everybody has a bad day sometime,
Kendall grounds this one over to third. Hatcher gloves it, and he throws on to first in plenty of time to get Kendall. So an unproductive out from Price Kendall will bring up Derek Hale. Still runners at second and third. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Pacific's already leading 4-0, and with a chance to get more as they have 2 runners in scoring position. On the day today, Hale is 0 for 4. He batted in the 7th inning and grounded out to first, and before that popped out to the catcher and then flew out to right.
It's got to be tough, you know, trying to go up there for 4 at bats and trying to get something, and then every time just not being able to get something, you know.
Well, Hale is a solid player. He is a returning player from last year's championship squad. As Detweiler dances away from second, Hale takes one in the dirt.
Yeah, so, and first year of the organization and champions, that's what I would call a good year, wouldn't you?
It definitely was a successful year for the Pacifics in their inaugural season of 2012 as York comes to the plate. Hale drives this one into right field. It should stay in the ballpark. Williams is camping under it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Hale did miss that one by much, probably off the handle. But either way, it retired the Pacifics in the bottom of the 8th. Colin Allen will be coming in the top of the 9th when we come back. As the Pacifics did score in that inning, they lead 4-0. We'll be right back on Marin Television.
Back with Superfan Super Greg.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Greg, I hear you're a super fan. You have season tickets?
I am. Season tickets, front row, right behind the dugout.
Yeah, and you bring your wife and child?
Got the wife and both kids come out with me. Wiffle ball, peanuts, you know, community. That's what it's all about. That's why we're here.
Oh, all right. And where do you live?
Just over the hill, over the other side of Lincoln in Centerville.
Downtown, almost downtown Centerville?
Yep. Born and raised. My kids are 4th generation Marin County girls. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so they love baseball too?
Oh, they love baseball. They both play softball. They come here, have a good time. You know, they love the wiffle ball games. The baseball players are great, real friendly.
Great. Yeah, you seem to know quite a few of them. You've been talking to them.
I do. I know quite a few of the guys. I came out to a fantasy camp they did earlier in the season and got to spend some time on the field with the guys. They're real good guys. They love the game, real passionate about it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And so you have a good communication with them?
Yeah, they're great. They're real open. You can talk to them, you know, during the game, before the game, after the game. They're out here signing autographs for the kids. You know, they're on Twitter, letting people know what's going on. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to flip back to you. Thanks, Super Greg.
Great. Hey, thanks.
Super fan.
Good stuff. Right on. Right.
Thanks,
Go
buddy.
Pacifics.
We are coming back for the top of the 9th inning. The bearded one, Colin Allen, coming in to try and close this one out. It is not a safe situation. The Pacifics are leading 4-0. But Colin Allen getting some work in nonetheless. He did come in last night and pitch the scoreless 9th and looking to do the same thing. And actually, after the last time he allowed a run, which was in the Vallejo series, I talked to him the next day and I said, Colin, what's going on there? What are you doing? You allowing a run on me? He still got the save that night. But he said, you know what, Vinny, I promise I'm not going to allow another run. And since then, he allowed a run. But then he made me the same promise the next day.
And has he allowed a run yet since he made that second promise?
After the second promise, no. He's been lights out.
Okay, so maybe second time is the charm, not third.
Yeah, we will see. Sometimes cliches do not work. And
yeah.
And as hard as it would be for him to not allow a run for the rest of the season, you can believe it. He comes in with 3 different kinds of fastballs and then also comes in with a breaker as well. As that first pitch is a ball from Allen. Allen falling behind. A swing and a miss from
nice
Williams on that one. So Colin Allen has the count 1-1. Swing and a miss from Williams there, unable to catch up to Allen's fastball. Now 1-2 against him. And we are now joined in the broadcast booth by Zach Bussin, another one of the Marin TV workers. Zach, how you doing tonight?
Oh, very good, good. Just working on the cameras. Now I'm coming up here play-by-play. Gonna hang out with you for a little bit.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, it's great to be on.
As Williams misses that pitch and fouls it straight back. Count remains 1-2.
It's getting a little chilly out here now.
Does tend to happen. It does get breezy at the end of the nights, and Pacifics fans know well to become hardy. Come for the beginning of the game in shorts and a t-shirt and bring a sweater for the end because it does chill out very quickly as Williams stays alive fighting off that fastball from Allen. 1-2 the count remains. Williams over 3 on the day. He grounded out to second in his last at bat.
He's had some nice swings on the day. See if he can get another one right here. Oh.
As Allen fools him with a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Colin Allen puts him away to retire the first out in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, he was way out in front of it, on the front foot on that one.
Now Caleb Hatcher stepping up to the plate. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Hawaii in this top of the 9th inning. Allen has the easy part of the lineup to work through, and Pacifics fans probably hoping that he can do it quickly and painlessly so that they can get home. As Allen comes to the plate, first pitch swinging, Hatcher grounds it to second. Kendall misplays it. It bobbles off of his chest and his glove. A rare error from Price Kendall will allow Hatcher to reach. So with one away, Felix Brown will come to the plate, and
that ball took a nasty hap and just ate him alive.
It does happen every once in a while. The surface at Albert Park still a little bit iffy after it was completely flooded on Tuesday. Tuesday night's game was in fact canceled due to the rain, and home plate was underwater. Third base also mostly underwater, and the playing surface almost perfect, but not quite there. Still a little bit off as Brown swings and misses at that pitch.
Here in the 9th inning, it's hard. You know, people have been running on it all day. Now it's kind of a little choppy, so you know you're going to get those bad hops every once in a while.
As Allen working quickly comes to the plate. Brown thinks about it and then leaves it up there. 1-1 the count. Pacifics are leading 4-0. We're in the top of the 9th. Colin Allen on to try and not save the day as Pacifics are leading by 4, but at least put this game away quickly and quietly.
Oh, he's going.
As he does go, the throw from Ryan King's knees is not in time.
It looked like the pitcher didn't really check up on the runner right there, and the runner took advantage of that to swipe that bag pretty easily.
As Hatcher did have a good lead there, and he just took off. So Hatcher puts himself in scoring position. A big play. We'll see how the game turns out, but that could be a decisive play as he puts himself in good position with his speed to score on any hit by Brown, as Brown swings and misses, and he will grab some pine.
Keep throwing him to a high and keep swinging at him high. So, I mean, that's what they were living by the game plan.
So now a 2 away. Dustin Smith coming up to the plate. Smith on the day, 1 for 4, excuse me. He did single in the first inning. He is due, and this would be a huge spot for him to get a hit and put his team on the board. Could be a big momentum builder for the Stars.
Ooh.
He's working backwards. Colin Allen starts with a fastball and gets it by him on the inside corner. 0-1.
See if you can close him out right here.
Allen, the powerful right-hander, is set and comes to the plate. Swinging a pop-up foul to the right side. It'll be out of play and into the Janes First Base Cafe dugout area. It bounces. Luckily didn't hit anybody and then goes out of play. So quickly Smith is in an 0-2 hole. Allen set, does not check Hatcher, comes to the plate.
Strike 3.
Foul tip into the glove of Ryan King. Strike 3. So Colin Allen comes in and strikes out the side. And the San Rafael Pacifics win their second straight game by a total of 4-0. Credit Colin Allen. That's his second straight time where he's come in and pitched a solid bottom or top of the 9th inning. And the Pacifics come away with the second straight win. The winning pitcher of today's game will be Logan Odom. He improves to 3-0, perfect 3-0 on the year. The losing pitcher, Matt Stropelli, he now falls to 2-2. It's a well-pitched game by both players. It was 1-0 for a good majority of the game until the Pacifics started to get runs on board in the 7th inning, and that's when Stropelli got chased.
There's a lot of errors in this game. That's what really helped the Pacifics out. Both pitchers pitched great. You know, the Pacifics just came out and pulled this one out.
Well, the final stat line for you from Albert Park: 4 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and about 5 men left on base for the Pacifics. On the side of the Stars, no runs on 6 hits, 6 errors, and 7 men left on base. This has been a production of Marin Television. We are just about ready to call it a night here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Our next broadcast will be during the Maui series. And check back on our social media for updates on that. For Zach Busan, I am Vinny Longo. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.
Thank you and good night.